This version of It's Erik Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
Are you ready? I said, are you ready?
It's Erik Nagel. And it starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear, it's Erik Nagel.
And thank you, Scott Shannon. Hello, everybody. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody that celebrates. That should be all of you. But alas, I see there's a few out there that are straggling, waifing around, strays, if you will. We'll fix that later. But who's not acting heathenistic this holiday season, he just doesn't celebrate it at all, it's my pal Jordan.
I'm getting better about it. Hi, everybody.
No, you've got some family trauma surrounding the Christmas season, so that's never going to go away, ever.
Look, I could tell the story about when my dad went down the Christmas chimney thinking that he was going to deliver gifts dressed as Santa. Chimney.
Okay.
We don't have them much out here.
I thought I heard an R in there, but that's okay.
No. And, he fell in the fire and got stuck.
Oh.
That's also a story from Gremlins. So who knows what my life is like.
Well, most people, their father goes out for, a pack of beers or cigarettes or something like that and never comes back. Yours apparently died from asphyxiation, and nobody bothered to call the authorities to get him out. He's just part of the mainframe of the house now.
Yeah, that's why I had to move.
All right. If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, thank you very much for doing so. If you're listening to us later on at your own convenience, Apple, Spotify, all those kind of places that you get your on-demand content, do us a kindness, go over there, leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. And if you're joining us live each and every week as we do said program, hope you're over in our live rooms over on YouTube and on Twitch. You can interact with the show, be part of it, hop in there, throw your money around like your big spenders that you are this holiday season. Forget the guys jingling the bells with the red containers. Forget those things where they're the big bins where drop off toys for tots. We could use it right here with super chats. And what does Twitch do? Bits. Subscription.
Yeah,
always subscriptions. Bits. Send some subscriptions around. All of those things.
You know what? Use your free Amazon subscription. Go just get over there on Twitch.
Right. That helps us out.
Yeah.
Everyone's got Amazon. You might as well go over there and use your free account and give it to us. It's the season of giving to us.
What are you going to give it to a cam girl? Why don't you give it to two white guys? We need it.
Yes, much more than apparently a lot of the girls on OnlyFans. That one that's making the rounds made $43 million. We're definitely in the wrong business. Believe it.
No.
Or at least you are. You're in the wrong business. You should figure out an OnlyFans account for yourself. Let me know how it goes. Come back and report, and then I will think about
my OnlyFans will be like that YouTube album that went on to everyone's Apple. I'm going to force people to subscribe, and they're going to have to pay me to unsubscribe.
Yeah, when people get their next update for the Android, all of a sudden, it's the home browser. It's the home page on your browser on Google there.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Terrible.
So anyway, holiday season is here.
Correct.
There's nothing you can do about it. It is being thrust upon us in every direction. It is freezing cold in the Northeast. It's like 27 degrees right now. And it's been like almost like tropical storm winds the last 2 days. Shit's blowing around all over the place. Icy winds. You go outside. It's like, I'm just going to go step outside, put the garbage out, grab something from the garage. And it's like you'll catch your death of cold outside.
It's weird. It was 76 today.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
at night or during the day?
During the day. Right now it's a 61.
It's a balmy 61.
It's a balmy 61. I may have to. No, I won't put on shoes. I'll just go check the mail barefoot because it is. Yeah. We're never going to get out of this heat here.
No, we started getting some snow yesterday. I was watching the tree lighting at Rockefeller Center. And as like Kelly Clarkson's on this little stage off to the side, a little circular thing, she starts talking and you're seeing just shit fly across and you're like, is it confetti or something? Bubbles? What's going on? Because they had smoke machines, they had laser light stuff going in every direction. When they did the wide shots, you're seeing LED lights and projections of snowflakes on other buildings around Rockefeller. So like it's a whole production. And then this lady comes out to sing. And I'm not familiar with her work, but all I can say is that every time they brought her on stage, she killed the entire mood of the event. Because she's more of an R&B singer, I guess, and she was singing more soulful kind of Christmas stuff.
Okay.
But you had Backstreet Boys up there doing an upbeat number. Who was the other band? Lady Antebellum or Lady A or something like that. They were there. There was all these things there. And upbeat stuff, Christmas stuff, get you in the mood kind of thing. Jennifer Hudson was there. She sang. She did like almost, it was like a Brian Setzer / jazz Fabulous Baker's Boys kind of thing going on. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. And then they bring out this lady, Coco Johnson, I think her name is. And she comes out for 2 different numbers and just kills the energy and the mood every time this lady's on. Point being, she comes out on stage as she's trying to sing. All of a sudden, snows just like squalls, if you will, go flying all over the place. And then when she's done, the snow stops. So I was like, even the weather is against this lady. It's like they were saying this is a poor choice for celebrating the tree lighting. But
Coco Johnson, black woman?
Yeah.
I think she's Bill Maher's ex-girlfriend or ex-wife or something. That's
okay,
weird,
well, she was totally killing the mood of the entire event. So it was what it was. But anyway, tree lighting went on. It is Christmas time in the city. Everything's all fun and good. So that means tons of offbeat Christmas music and all that other fun shit for the next few shows. We've got 3 more shows till we hit the 500th episode.
Does that include next week? Because next week, I don't believe we're doing a show.
What? Why?
Well, you had other things, and I'm in Vegas.
What do I have next week?
News. I don't know. You were trying to put it off.
This is how bad my life's gotten right now. I don't remember anything that happens anymore.
I don't need to be your calendar.
I'm looking at my calendar. I have an event during the day. I have nothing at night. Oh, so you're not going to be here. Oh, you're in Vegas next week, right?
I'm coming back from Vegas that day. Now, there's a good chance I can make it. I mean, the times we keep going on live, I think I'm making it work.
Nah, you want to do Friday?
What am I going to
then?
do? It's like an hour flight.
You want to push it to Friday?
Yeah, we could do that.
All right. We may have a pre-record. I got to tell you about that. We have an interview this weekend.
Cool.
If you can make it this Sunday.
Sure.
So next week, my pal Justin Moriello will be on the show. He's got
Very
a brand new
cool.
song and a new music video out for his group I Hate Kate. They just released it, so he's coming back on the show. And he's Heather Hartwell's favorite. Every time I put one of his songs on our Music League thing, she goes, "You will not make me like this guy." Well, I'm going to try it again, because then he's going to be on the program. All right. You're going to what concert, or is it a work event?
It's a work event. Yeah, I've got a work thing
That's
next
boring.
Tuesday through Thursday.
Make up a
Yeah,
concert.
terrible.
What's that concert they just canceled because Metallica wanted $5 million and
Sick New World, and that's in segment 2. There's a lot of behind the scenes on that one. But
Wait,
yes, that's
it's Metallica.
April.
Who's the other one? Linkin
Linkin
Park?
Park.
That wanted
Yeah,
$5 million as well.
Each.
And that
Yeah.
is that what caused the collapse of this thing?
That's what they're speculating. No one's officially coming out, but they had to sell out the show to make money, and they sold a third of the tickets that they thought.
All right, so we'll just blame Lars.
We'll get into it
always
more,
do.
but yes.
Okay, fair enough. I noticed the banner.
Blame the children. They're wrong.
It's always the children's fault. Anywho, where do you want to start? Do you want to talk about a potential natural disaster? Do you want to talk about my disaster for Thanksgiving? Where would you like to go?
Let's recap our Thanksgiving. I mean, that we last we did a show. Okay, so we did a Thursday show, and then we had immediate turnaround. We had Brian on last Tuesday.
Correct.
And we did a little bit of Christmas
Our pal
video
Brian
game
Shea.
wrap up. Brian Shea.
Yeah.
And then coincidentally enough, you had brought up maybe a job opportunity where if Elon Musk started a gaming thing for Brian, would he take the job?
Yeah.
And he said no. And then literally the next
day,
Elon Musk's
announced that he's
possibility is that he's going to do some gaming stuff. And Brian was like, "What the hell, dude?"
Hold on, let me find his text to show you.
It was pretty funny. But yeah, we had Brian on last week. And then we had a long time between shows. It feels like we did a quick turnaround, and then Thanksgiving happened, and now we're back. So yeah, let's recap some vacation stuff.
We recorded the show live that night,
right?
And then it got posted for iHeart and everywhere else. The following morning, like we do. And that night I had told him, I said, because the way these video game companies are being bought up by bigger corporations,
Right.
We were talking about how much exclusivity is going to play a part going forward. Is there going to be chances that you either have to side with one company or another just to get the properties that you like? And he's no longer working with Game Informer, which he had been for like over a decade. They closed up shop and ran off in the middle of the night. I said, look, if there was an opportunity to work for another gaming company, and if Elon, because at that point Elon was talking about
Buying MSNBC.
yeah, some speculation about, an exploratory thing about buying MSNBC. Said, if he started up a video game company, would you work for him? And he said, absolutely not. Well, then the next day, Elon talks about wanting to create an AI video game company.
Mm-hmm.
So I had woken up to a text from him in capitals saying, what the fuck? You literally posted this scenario last night.
You literally brought it up, yeah.
And I laughed. I go, so are you interested in working there? And he goes, I'd rather swallow a knife. So
So regardless, he's still out.
yeah, he's not in the
AI.
Elon Musk business. But
Correct.
look, you got to take opportunities where they can. It's a new world, new factions of media everywhere. It's the traditional media is not the place to be anymore. You got to go where the money and the people are going.
Yeah.
You can't sit there and live and pine for the days of HD DVD like you do, Jordan. You have to move on.
I actually still have some HD DVDs. I was in that camp before Blu-ray said, no, thank you,
You
sir.
can't even find a player for that. Like, you could still find a Blu-ray player for like $10, $20. Finding an
HD DVD,
You got to
the
go
only
on
reason
to
I got it is I bought the little hookup to the Xbox 360 to play the HD DVDs. And
Right.
yeah, that's gone the way of the dodo. So
might as well just throw them out.
yeah, I'm going to use them as like skeet. Just throw them and shoot them.
I've been finding I've been clearing out more of the physical media stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff that's really too commonplace, I've been getting rid of because I'm like, these movies will always be around and I'll never not have an outlet for it.
Sure.
Stuff that's a bit more obscure, that maybe wasn't successful, were independent releases, something like that. Those are the ones I'm keeping. The Marvel and the DC collections, as much as I love them, I'll find them anywhere. They'll always be somewhere.
They're
So
giving people stuff.
yeah, so I've been trying to donate them to the libraries within the area, or there is some. They're not consignment shops. They're. I don't know. I forget what they're called, but they're like a family services kind of place. You could donate stuff, and they sell. They have like their own shops. They sell their stuff within the shop, and then the money goes to like needy families in those areas and what have you. So I rather drop stuff off to there because people would be buying some of that stuff because I just have tons of DVDs and people are still buying DVDs. Although I didn't realize this. I think I knew it, but I forgot it. Week leading into Thanksgiving, I'm in Target picking up a couple of things. And I walk over and I'm seeing that they had this big display in the middle of the aisle for Taylor Swift's Eras tour.
Eras.
It's like a concert book.
Yeah,
right?
she did a photo book of their Eras tour.
Right. So there's this big giant display right near between the toy and the electronic section, and then there's another display that I'm guessing it's an album, vinyl. It's just like gray and white. Right.
I think they did the double album of the Eras tour. Like her last album did like the Dead Poet Society. I don't know what it's called.
You're right.
Yeah. And they did a vinyl release of the double album. So
okay.
like it's just
so there's these big displays,
like
cut out things, Taylor, all this stuff.
Right.
So I walk over, I'm looking, I'm like, what is this? And whatever. And I'm like, oh, the book section is now the electronic section, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm walking through and I'm like, this is the third aisle of books that I'm in. Where's all the DVDs and all that stuff? I didn't realize the year before they said that they were making it very minimal. You can buy them on their website, but as far as stores go, they're a very minimal basis if they're going to have a physical release. There was nothing.
Yeah.
The only
It's
music they had were all vinyl releases.
Isn't that weird? Like they've gone full circle where you can find vinyl releases, you can find all kinds of stuff, but you don't find CDs. And physical media is almost gone as far as movies go. Like they might have some new releases. They have like one aisle, and a lot of it's Blu-ray. They're not even carrying 4K. which is, the newest medium that they're out there with. So yeah, you just did Target and Best Buy. Yeah, there's just almost no point to getting physical media there anymore. They have video games.
There's nothing there.
And vinyl.
Well, all right. So here's the thing with the video games, because just past that section is the video game section. They have an aisle for Nintendo, an aisle for PlayStation, an aisle for Xbox. But it wasn't like traditional aisles. They were all like little makeshift mini aisles in like weird directions. And then there's like 2 aisles of just phone cases. But
phone cases and chargers.
Yeah, there's the video game section. Now they have the they're all in the plastic clamshells, the games that are available. Some of the other games are not even available. They're selling the gift cards for those games. So I saw
Nintendo's big on that one.
Well,
Nintendo has like a whole row.
Xbox and PlayStation are too, because I saw it's usually up by the registers where they have gift cards for restaurants and other stores and stuff. You can just buy them at any store and whatever amount. They had a front of it like where an end cap would be, just all gift cards, and it was a lot of Roblox and Minecraft, Nintendo Store, PlayStation Network, all the different Xbox things, which I was looking at too, because during the Black Friday sales, I was like, I still have Xbox Ultimate Game Pass.
Right.
So I was going to see if any of those cards were on sale, buy that and stack them up on the account, so then you don't have to pay for it, for the next several months, years, whatever. They don't sell year-long subscriptions to PlayStation Network or to Xbox. They're 3 months. So I was like,
that is really odd.
They don't sell a year subscription thing for this. And I was like, oh, that's kind of fucked up. Anyway, I'll get to that stuff in a second. But I'm looking at all there's all these other gift card stuff. And some of these were for the games. You're buying the digital copies of the games. And the way that was looking reminded me of when Toys R Us used to have just the wall
cardboard
that would show you the flaps that would flip up and down, showing the front of the back of the box of the game. Had the ticket. You'd take the ticket, pay for the ticket, then go over to the cage, hand the ticket in. They would give you the game from the cage area. It's going back to that.
I miss that cage guy.
I missed those old Toys R Us things. It was a lot of fun when they actually had the toys on the shelves. You could look at it.
Right.
But those gift card things or the streaming cards are going back. They're starting to look like that old Toys R Us Child World layout for those things. The music section's all records. There's no DVDs and Blu-rays. It's all books. Like, it went way back to more antiquated forms of medium.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's interesting, and you're like, wow, that's kind of neat. And then you go, I don't want any of this. I'm gonna go back home and just buy the shit that I want online and be done with it. It's nice to look at. I just don't want to relive that time of your life again, because it's like, this is boring and not worth entertaining.
Yeah, see, I collect vinyl, but I usually try to collect like those weird ones, like the ones that are more artwork than caring about the vinyl portion of it, like really cool covers or like very cool looking like prints, like with the different shape, the color schemes and things like that, all the special editions. I don't tend to buy new media. Like, I'm not going to go get Taylor Swift's new vinyl album. I'm not going to go get the new Linkin Park in vinyl. Like, I don't care. I'll go get some old stuff, and then I'll get like stuff from Mondo, with like a really cool cover or like some kind of video game art or something like that. Like, it's more like art pieces for me than it is needing the newest songs on vinyl, because I'm really not going to listen to it that way. I'm just going to pop it on my phone.
No need for it. None need for it. So anyway, yeah, Target. Before I move on to the Thanksgiving thing, so the Xbox stuff, when I saw in the Target, I couldn't do anything. I went online, I was reading stuff on Reddit and other places, and they were talking about, like, there's a lot of people like, how come I can't pay for a yearly subscription for this thing? What's going on? Plus, Xbox Game Pass has the Ultimate, which is console, PC, first day release. You can play, like, it really gave them a giant boost what's the one that's out now? Call of Duty 6?
Yeah.
With the zombies?
Black Ops 6, yeah.
Yeah, right? That's the one in the 90s and has the zombie stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When that came out day of on Game Pass. Like, you can download it. It was set and ready to go the day it was released. That apparently, from the articles I was reading online, drove a lot more people to Xbox. It's like, holy shit, I can get it the day of instead of having to wait for the actual game to load in, or whatever. They have a PC Pass and they have the Ultimate Game Pass. PC Pass, you get all the access to the PC stuff. You don't get access to the games that were exclusive for console, but you get all the games first day release. And it's like $8 cheaper. So I was looking and reading all the stuff for the comparisons. Like, is it worth getting the PC version? Because the PC version I think is $13.99, and the Ultimate Pass right now is at $20. And there was a thing from Microsoft that it's going to be raised again going into next year.
I know.
So I was like, should I just do whatever? Somebody posted a link and said, hey, go check out this website. They sell discounted cards or whatever. So apparently what these places do is they buy up the codes, and then they're allowed to resell those codes. As this retailer does, you pay for them through there and you get them at a discount. So they had like 3 months of Ultimate Game Pass is like 60 something bucks. They were selling 3-month cards for like $25.
It's not bad. So
I just bought a year's worth. Got the codes.
It still paid less.
Yeah, still paid way less. Bought a year's worth of the cards, banked them into your Xbox or your Microsoft account. So the amount's just sitting there. So as each time it's supposed to, renew, it just subtracts from the account and it's there. So I don't have to worry about it for another year. And I think after the holidays, I bookmarked. I think I may just go back and buy yet another year and stack it on top of that.
Yeah, I think you can stack up to 3 to 4 years. Like I
think 3 years.
For like 2 years once, I remember there was a good deal on one of these sites, and I did the same thing. I just bought a bunch of time.
Yeah.
And then for a while, I just wasn't paying. And then next thing you know, it expired. I completely forgot. And when I saw a charge in my account, I'm like, damn it. Now I got to go back and try to do the same thing myself. Just so it's one less thing I have to worry about on a month.
I'm not a PlayStation guy. I don't have that, but I think you can do it something similar. I don't know their terms, how long you can stack it up, but I think you can do something similar if you're on PlayStation. They have Steam cards if you want a Steam account, but for some reason, I don't have a problem paying for Steam stuff than I do on other things.
Well, the problem is Steam tends to do these deals constantly. Like I just bought Hades 2.
I know. I keep seeing it pop up that you're playing it at night. It says, Jordan's playing Hades 2.
Jordan's playing Hades 2 and having a great time doing it. They have sales constantly. You can buy games for like under $5 most of the time. And they're good games. Like I've got a backlog in Steam now that is so long that I'll never run out of things to do.
And you
just got to play them.
You put games on your wish list, and then it notifies you, "Hey, this game's on." Like they're telling you, "Hey, this game's on."
You to buy these games for cheap.
Yeah, it's like, "Hey, this game's for sale right now. You should come back and buy this thing." And it's like, "Thank you, Steam. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, I will come by." Oh, wait, there's other versions of this. You could buy the DLC bundle for what would have been the price of the first game. So you're like, "All right, I'll spend all that money and get all of this stuff."
Yeah. And it's nice to have, and it's because mine's Portal. I'm taking my Steam Deck to Vegas. Like I'm just going to play on the plane. It's like, fuck it.
And then Google Drive.
Yeah.
I don't use the Xbox, not the Xbox. What is it? Microsoft One? No, Microsoft.
No, I don't remember what it is.
Whatever the equivalent of the cloud stuff that Microsoft has. I've been using the Google one for 8-10 years, somewhere in there. They had they still call it Google Play, even though that doesn't exist anymore. But you could buy those cards for cheap. So like I have 1, 2, 3. Well, one of them I can get rid of now because I'm not using it for work anymore. But I had a couple of different Google Cloud accounts for that held several terabytes because we were dealing with big files, videos and audio and stuff to transfer between work and whatever. So some of these things were like over $100 for the year, but it's still a nice little chunk of change, even though it's once a year, and you're buying the cards discounted. So it's like, wait, I'm getting $120 worth of what I need for this price.
Right.
So I bought that and stacked up on Google Drive too. It's amazing. If you just put a little work into it and not just look at, I'll just go to Amazon and pay whatever they want, or Walmart and pay whatever they want. Read up a little bit and you're like, wow.
A lot of money, yeah.
And it's legal. It's not like you're going to pirated sites or stuff. This is all, they're not selling the games. They're just selling the subscriptions to their services.
Well, and it's funny because like we were just talking about Steam running deals right after Brian was talking about that card game, that poker card game.
I
Steam,
bookmarked
and Steam
that.
dropped it, like it was like $10, $12. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, now I'm gonna get it. Of course I'm gonna get it.
I bookmarked a couple of those games too. And then, because I didn't see this until he told us about it, that Astro Boy, I think it's called.
Yeah, for PlayStation.
There's a big display in Target for that.
It's a big. It's going to be their good Christmas game for just every
It
age.
looks great. Yeah, it looks like a wholesome family
Yeah, it's
kiddie
fun.
kind of game, but the graphics look great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very like vibrant colors and stuff. I was like, all right, this could win me over. I was doing some shopping for nieces. She likes this Kirby's Adventure
Kirby's fun.
Redo. Was getting that. Mario related games is what she wanted.
Yeah, little platformers.
And I talked to my sister. I said, should we do the download version? She's like, the kid doesn't know how to do that. She goes, she needs the little mini
She needs
cartridge.
the cartridge.
And she's got a case that has little pockets that she can put them in. So when she travels, she has everything. So I said, all right. So there I am buying the physical things and gonna mail it down. But anyway, moving on from that. Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was pretty low key. I didn't really do much. Like I made food. I know we had talked about the Kinder stuff, the brine in the bag and all that stuff. So I brined my turkey. I had gone down to Tucson the day before, so I was gone all day. So I made sure that everything was thawed and ready to go. So when I had gotten back that night, I can just get it into the brining bag and get it going. So I did the turkey in the brine bag for the first time. Turned out great. Like it's the way to go. If you're not going to deep fry a turkey, definitely do something like that, like brine it and really put the time into it because it turned out really well. But I had only, I didn't really do much. Like I made food just kind of at home. Like I didn't really, my brother ended up coming over. My mom came over. I didn't have the kids with me really. So I was just pretty quiet. I watched some football.
That is the
just
way
made
to
food.
do it now.
It was so nice.
One of the good things we got from the pandemic was this new mindset and in a lot of ways acceptance as a culture of not having to do everything with everybody for the holidays.
Right. I could have easily gone to my grandma's. I'm sure like we could have planned something. I just didn't want to.
Right.
It was nice being quiet.
So kind of envy that because I had 3 Thanksgiving dinners in a row.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah. Yes and no.
Sounds busy.
So Thanksgiving proper went to family and that was fine and good, except my middle finger here started to get inflamed. And I don't know what happened. And it started a little bit before we went over there for dinner. I noticed there's like a little bump or something on the side of like my nail and on the finger. And it's getting red. And I go, I don't know what happened. And I'm looking at it, and it looks a little ripped. So I don't know if while I was sleeping, a cuticle ripped, or maybe something bit me. I don't know.
I was wondering, did something bite you to cause that?
So I was like, all right, this isn't too bad. I'll just kind of, baby it a little. Throughout the course of dinner, I'm starting to notice, like, my finger is like giving off heat. I'm touching it, and it's way hotter than the rest of my hand. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then I started to notice what started up here started to, like, it was tingling going down. Like I started to feel it move. Like
it was swelling from the tip of your finger down. So you had this ET looking finger for the longest time until it started fully swelling.
Well, the finger was swelling outwards like that a little bit, but I was feeling this tingling coming down, and then it was starting to go down in this direction here, like this portion, because these 3 fingers are all kind of like connected if you move them, right? So it started tingling here, and then I started feeling these fingers doing it. I go, what the hell's going on? And I'm just...
I gotta think that was like some kind of bite of some sort. Like that just seems very odd to just have, a cuticle messed up and then everything else, I don't know, it feels like it was traveling.
Right. So all this is happening. And then I'm telling people, they're like, is that all right? Can you move? I'm like, yeah, I can
How
move
are you
it.
showing them? Maybe that's why they were getting mad at you.
My finger's hurting. I don't know what's going on, right? So, like I'm just sitting there for a while. I'm just constantly just holding my hand while I'm at the table and we're talking and what have you. Then after a while, I wasn't paying attention, and then all of a sudden it hit. I started to feel it through here into here. Like I'm starting to feel it in my wrist now, right? And there is a red line going down the side of my finger here, right? Mm-hmm. Now I see our pal Tom. Change your name back, Tom. This is just I stopped doing the launch pad shit.
Tom Pad McQuack.
Yeah, just change it, fix it now. He's in the chat here. He said blood poisoning. That's what another family member said. And goes, if you have any red lines on your hand, I go, I don't think so. Why? And they said because that would be blood poisoning. So they were looking, and then they go, oh my god, right there down the side is like a faint red line. So I was like, what the hell happened here? So now I'm looking it up online. I'm, trying to piece shit together. Some saying it's some kind of bacteria thing. It's a fungal thing. Like you're getting different results for it.
Yep. Septicemia. It's a medical name for blood poisoning by germs such as bacteria, viruses, and fungi.
Okay.
Or fungi.
So then I started to notice the finger is now turning a darker red. Right? And it's very hot, and it's now like 1.5 times the size of my other fingers. So it's still early. It's like 7 p.m. now. It's early. So I'm like, I think I need to go home. Why? I was like, this isn't good. I think I need to go home. So pack up, leave. I have to drive. So now I'm driving like this with the wheel. Like that. Because I can't, like, if I'm bending the finger, it's hurting and it's getting really hot. So I'm just kind of driving this way, get home. And, I had family that came up and was staying with us. And my mom's going, she goes, you need to go to urgent care. I go, urgent care is not open on a holiday. They work like regular office hours. They're not open. So
some might, but yeah, they're harder to find.
Well, in Jersey, a lot of them are self-sufficient stores. Like they have property. Mm-hmm. And they're run like stores. They're not always open. So then they're trying to convince me to go to the ER. And I'm thinking about going to the ER on Thanksgiving night. I'll be sitting. It's not bleeding. It's not open. It's not whatever. I'll be sitting there for hours before they even get to me. This is just, it would be a disaster. So I'm still reading online, and I'm cross-referencing medical information from what should be credible sources, medical papers, medical websites. And one of them says things that you shouldn't be doing. And they were things that I had done earlier in the day. One, it's like, don't put hydrogen peroxide on it. I kept doing that throughout the day, thinking I was disinfecting it.
Yeah, of course.
So that was a problem. Number 2, do not put Neosporin on it, which I had.
You were about to squeeze it on. I was like, oh, good enough.
No, I had already, because then 3, it says, do not wrap it in a constrictive bandage, which I had a Band-Aid wrapped around the opening on the side of the nail here, right? Yeah, everything I thought I was doing right was completely wrong for this. So I'm reading, and then it comes down to the fact that I need a strong antibacterial kind of cream, mm-hmm. or a strong antifungal cream. And also, there was one of the places was saying it's like soak it in Epsom salts. Mm. So I got warm to hot water in the bowl. I got some Epsom salts. I'm soaking my hand like those Palm Olive dish commercials from the 80s where they would the ladies would put their hand in, like, look, no dishpan hands, that kind of thing. Right. So I'm just sitting there at the my kitchen table holding my hand like this into a bowl of Epsom salts while I'm watching the news, and this is ridiculous. And with the left hand, I'm still scrolling through medical stuff. And I noticed, I'm not feeling the sting of it, but it's still hot, still whatever. I go and look through the medical closets and stuff and cabinet, and I find I have an old prescription for an antibacterial thing. So I don't remember what it is, but I'm they're all the medical names. So I'm searching the names on all these little squeeze tubes and stuff. I go, oh, this is an antibacterial thing. Perfect. So I get that. And then I find a thing, oh, this is an antifungal thing. Perfect. So like a Tenactin kind of thing. So I'm mixing I'm mixing it together, putting it on my finger, and it said, soak your hands about 2 to 3 times a day. Okay. So then Everyone goes to bed. I'm still up. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on with my hand here. I come downstairs and I go playing some video games, and I realize while I'm playing, I'm feeling the heat coming off the controller from my finger. I go, this isn't good, and it's swelling up again. I go back upstairs. I clean it out. I put it back in the salts, and I find a page that's telling me that I need to find a sterile needle and start stabbing myself to drain the finger. And I went, I don't think I need to drain the finger. I just think I'm like, well, my finger's swelling up. And then I'm looking at cross-referenced photos and stuff, and one looked sort of similar. The others looked horrific. And I was like, oh God, I don't have this going on. This one looked similar, and I went, oh no, maybe I do. So there I am.
Civil War surgery in your fucking basement.
I am frontier pharmacying this thing the best that I can. I find a little bit
of whiskey on your finger, a little bit in your mouth, and you just stab at your finger.
I find a sewing needle.
Oh my!
I clean it, and then I am running it over a flame. Right? Rinse it down.
Rubbing alcohol.
I then proceed to start stabbing my finger.
Oh my God!
And I can't watch those pimple popping videos.
I hate those things.
I know people love them. I can't do that. But lo and behold, I push the needle into like this part of my finger right over here.
Oh, no thanks.
And all of a sudden, whoosh.
Ew.
A white reddish substance starts coming out of my finger.
A viscous material.
So I'm like, oh, this is a problem. So now I got a roll of paper towels here, and I'm like cleaning it down. And it's let me just say, it is quicker picking upping everything that's coming out of my finger here, right?
Oh, gross.
So that's happening, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm good. And then I put my finger down for a little bit while I'm doing something else, and then I look back, and I still have to see around the side of the nail a little bit more coming out. I'm like, huh. And I'm looking at this. I'm trying to clean it up, but it's sort of, I go, wait a minute. If I know anything about how they do the pimples, the pimple's not clean until you get pure blood coming through it, right? The area. So you'll have to go and squeeze it to get the rest of it out until you get only blood. And then you go, okay, it's only blood now. Now you put the stuff on there to seal it and clean it up, right?
Out the venom. Ugh.
So I am now taking, I puncture a second hole into my finger with the needle, and I am now essentially like where you're wringing a wet piece of clothing to get all the water to squeeze out of it. I am now trying to wring my finger like this, like I'm pushing down, and I'm like, I have my nails scraping across my skin to force it to come down here, and more is coming down the side of my finger out. This is like this is like Spider-Man gone wrong. Instead of being able to go like this, I'm using my finger, and this shit's coming out.
Now here's the bad side. I've got a resident smart person in my life that is now sending me messages. The opposite reaction could have been that you push the bacteria further in and you give yourself cellulitis.
No.
And do more damage.
50-50,
How do you
I
still
guess.
have your-
I'm a gambling man, so you had to figure out what to do here.
How are you?
How am I what?
Oh, it sounds so gross.
Okay.
Like, I just don't want to be a part of this.
So, Heather in the chat saying, I've totally done this for myself and other people. Piercings get infected. Okay. So, I am, I'm stabbing my finger. I'm not going this way, pushing it back in. I'm going from like the knuckle at the base of your hand down towards the fingertip.
Right, I understand.
So I am just
what you're trying to do.
I am just like scratching and whatever, trying to get this fluid right here. So now I see like it's turning kind of black around the nail, right? And I go, oh no, is it so, like, did I make this worse? What did I do? So now I'm looking there and I'm cleaning it down. I'm putting my hand back into the salts for a little bit, letting it clean, take it back up after a few minutes, drying it off. And I'm like, why is it black? And I look closer. It's not black. There's a surface level of skin, and under that is blood. So the blood is not under the layers of the skin. The blood is now above the layers of the skin, except under the one layer that's the top layer of the skin. So now what looked black is actually dark red. It's the blood.
Nagel's own blood sausage.
Right. So
this Thanksgiving.
I was up all night rotating with the antibacterial
milking
stuff.
Your finger.
Yes, milking my finger. And
that's the show title.
And the Epsom salt stuff. At one point, I was sitting there and debating because again, I'm all in now with the frontier physician ship of how I'm handling this. I'm sitting there. I'm like, well, maybe I need to cauterize the wound.
Oh God!
And I'm debating: do I take a butane lighter, or worst case, the stove, and try to what was now an open wound, try to cauterize it to close up.
Now say that word again.
Cauterize?
Nope.
It's not cauterize?
No, you're not putting really terrible genes on your finger. You're cauterizing.
Cauterize. Okay. I like mine better.
Yeah, I bet you do. Here, did you think about trying to reach out to Dr. Steve and get some real medical advice?
It was now 11 p.m. on Thanksgiving night. I wasn't going to bother. If I wasn't going to the ER, I wasn't going to call Dr. Steve.
You're not saying, hey, Dr.
With
Steve, I hope you have a good Thanksgiving. I know it's late. It's my finger's coming off. I need your help.
Right. So, no, I have family members that were screaming at me that I needed to go to the ER and I wasn't doing it. Like for 2 days. Like my mom came over and she goes, what's the real reason? Like the next day, what's the real reason you won't go over there? And I go, what? And she goes,
throw up your finger.
And she goes, why aren't you going over? Do you not want to pay the ER bill? I'll pay the ER bill. I said, it's not, I'm not complaining about paying I have insurance. I'm not complaining about paying the ER bill. I don't think it was enough to warrant me going to the ER for this.
You didn't think milking your finger of this weird white and red viscous material warranted going to a doctor?
No, well, doctors.
You're not
thing.
like, I broke my finger. Let me get some popsicle sticks and some duct tape. No, this is. Right. You're gross, man. To go to the doctor.
Heather in the chat saying you don't need to cauterize it, dude. That's a level. Yes, I understand. Crack the whip in chat saying Nagel's out doing World War I field medicine before pumpkin pie. Sort of. So the rest of the night I'm just going through the motions, soaking it, draining it, stabbing it, doing whatever.
As one does.
And then as I'm finally ready to go to bed because it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, I do the concoction of the antibacterial, antifungal thing, put it on my finger. And, holding it for a little bit, and I go, that's the best I can do. I had that, and I took some Advil dual action.
Sure.
And I went to bed because I was like, everything's going to work here. So
rub some tussin on it. Yeah. Go to sleep.
Go out and get some leaves and some mud.
Yeah. Throw some dirt in there.
Yeah.
Now, see, I've got footage of what your finger looked like.
Hold on. Trashitarian saying... Saying we're old, you're going to get sepsis.
Correct.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, where did you buy that novelty hand, sir?
This? No, it's just fluid collecting.
Yep, that's exactly what I was.
Gross.
So, next day I get up. Finger's not as swollen anymore. Up here is still a bit red. I go through the motions again. Family saying to me, it's like, you should go to the doctor. Why aren't you doing this? I don't know. I'm like, it doesn't look that bad that I need to do this anymore. I went to go puncture it the next day, but it didn't look like I needed to anymore because now it was just up here. The rest of the finger was back to being normal color. It was just up in this area. There was a little bit of the bump and trying to clear all this stuff out. So then I do it for the next couple days, just between the salt and the
milking.
No, I wasn't milking that anymore. That was just the one day. The salt and the antibacterial stuff. So now, I mean, I still got told today, it's like, you should have went to the doctor for this, and I didn't, because then I noticed, at least today, all the when the skin was expanding and red and kind of bulbous looking, I guess. Whatever happened, it retracted, and I guess killed off the skin because my finger's peeling. So like now it's just peeling off, like when you would put Elmer's glue in your hand and peel off your whole. It would look like your whole skin.
I love doing that.
So I'm in Michael's today picking up an order, and I'm just sitting there, I'm waiting, and I go, "What? Why is my finger?" And I go, "Look," and all of a sudden, like half this part of my finger just peels right off, and I'm just staring at it now. I'm like, "That's weird. That shouldn't be," but I'm fascinated by it. Right.
Let's see how far this goes.
I don't know if this is going to show in there, but look at that. You can see it. Maybe not. I don't know. Still got a little bit of ways to go. It looks like the worst is over with. This is just a healing process that I have to go through here. And you know what else is weird? I was at the doctor yesterday. You
didn't think of bringing this up?
I didn't. I didn't bring it up at all.
What were you there for that you couldn't think, oh, by the way, my finger needed to be milked for an hour and I have it peeling?
It was going over blood results, and then they just do every now and then they do.
It's literally on topic.
An EKG thing, which, by the way, fucking phenomenal. My numbers and all that. I'm good.
For you.
You know, for as much people that love to post in the YouTube comments for this and other shows that I go on.
I've seen.
Which, by the way, I am very flattered that we have so many homosexual men that are fascinated with this show, with me, how I look, my decor, all of that. Yes. They're like, he still has a child's haircut. What's wrong with his eyes? Yeah, I have dark eyes. It's hereditary. It's a thing. It's like, oh, he looks bloated. He looks like that. It's like, no, I'm not. Maybe the camera's making me look that way, but I'm actually pretty well off. There's a lot of guys, and it's only guys. No women. Like, maybe if a woman said something in those things, I'd be like, maybe I should consider checking that out, or maybe that's a thing. It's always guys saying the same shit over and over, and I'm flattered. I really am. I'm not into you like that, but I'm flattered that you follow me from show to show, making those comments over Jordan, Rob, all of these comments about how I look and what have you. So,
but we do that to your face. Like we at least have the wherewithal to tell you in a chat.
Yeah.
We don't post it anywhere.
No, everything's fine. All my shit's fine. I'm good. Maybe not so much from this now, but it just dawned on me. I had a doctor's appointment and I said nothing. Maybe I should have, but I didn't.
I mean, would have been a good place to do it.
Yeah.
Like that was probably the appropriate place to bring that up.
So yeah, I did not.
But you're like, no, I don't want to ruin the story.
No, but when
I talk about it first.
In true form, I texted you.
He did,
and I said, so I have a Thanksgiving story, of course. Very untraditional for me. It's nothing like anything else that I've had to experience before. Wasn't a family issue, wasn't a restaurant issue, wasn't the food, being served wrong or any of that stuff. That wasn't the case. So yeah, that was day one. Day two, I had my own Thanksgiving because I had my food, because whenever you go to family stuff, they either make so much stuff that because there's a lot of people there, that either there's not enough to take home, or somebody claims dibs before you pay attention and they took all the good stuff. So you would like to have some stuff of your own over the weekend. So I do my own Thanksgiving on Friday. Then Saturday was another family Thanksgiving for the other parts of the family we didn't get to see on Thursday. So there's a lot of food of that stuff to bring home and whatever too.
Now, are you the traditional Thanksgiving dinner actually being at dinner time, or are you like me, where if I'm not done eating by like 1:30, I've failed Thanksgiving?
No, I would like to do it earlier, but because there's so many family members getting together and getting there, they don't usually have dinner till like 4 or 5, somewhere in there.
That's already leftover time, and I'm watching the second.
I know.
Game.
I mean, I remember growing up, we used to have it around like dinner was like 2:00.
Yeah.
And then
that would be the latest.
You would eat, you'd have dessert, and then you gave you enough time before prime time came around that you
take a nap.
You've processed it, and then you're like, I'm going back for turkey sandwiches and some of the other sides. But that wasn't the case. It was around 4 or 5 for all of those, and that was pretty much the whole Thanksgiving. Outside of my frontier surgery, foods were good. I did the same thing you did. I had the butcher's brine. I brined the turkey for 14 hours. And then I massaged it with olive oil, and then generous with the seasonings around it. Baked.
Did you stick with the butter, the Kinder's butter seasoning?
Yes.
Because I did.
The
I stuck
butter
with that,
poultry
maybe,
seasoning? Yeah.
And then I added a little bit more blend just so I can get some more garlic on there.
Oh, I should have done that, but no, it was fine. And then I made the stuffing off to the side. I made a lot of that and baked it in the oven. So I took the stuffing, because apparently you can't cook the stuffing in the turkey anymore. They keep saying you'll get salmonella poisoning. But that's how it's been done forever.
I think what it does is it changes the time to cook the turkey. So like if you're cooking without the stuffing in there, it's a lot quicker. If you're putting the stuffing in there, it's going to add the way the heat hits that turkey. So it's going to take a lot longer. So whatever. You're not going to die from it. Get over it.
So I'm going to sneeze.
I don't know. You might with your finger issues, but no, I usually cook it separate. I did get the Kinder's stuffing mix. I gotta say that was the only thing that I was unimpressed with. Like it was,
I could see it from the photo in the box. I was like, I don't like how this looks. I'm not going to do it.
It was like, yeah, it's like melt butter, do this, add an egg, whip it all up, stick to there, let it soak for a little bit, and then bake it. And I'm just like, it's a lot of work, man. Like I want to stovetop this thing and boil some water and butter and just mix and stir.
I did the stovetop turkey stuffing. Which was fine, but you realize that there's a reason why the chicken stuffing or the cornbread stuffing sells the best, because the chicken stuffing just tastes amazing. So this year I decided, I'm going to make the stuffing in a big casserole thing off to the side, and then burn that so that it's crunchy and has that top layer that you love.
Yeah.
Instead of making the stuffing with water, I took the pan drippings. And put that in there and cooked the stuffing that way with water and some of the pan drippings. Put the stuffing in there, then took it and baked it. I made red skin mashed potatoes.
Did you do what kind of gravy? Did you do the Kinder's gravy?
I did.
The bone broth. Yeah,
the bone broth one.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. I made au gratin potatoes, which is a favorite of mine. Everybody else still wants mashed potatoes, but I was like, fuck that. I want the au gratin potatoes.
You know what I've never done for Thanksgiving, that when I was watching football, and maybe it's just maybe it's a Southern thing, maybe it's a cultural thing. A lot of the players, obviously African American, they're all saying
you're
mac
African American.
And cheese.
Wow.
Sometimes that mac and cheese is their favorite side dish at Thanksgiving, and I'm like, I've never done mac and cheese. Like maybe the au gratin potatoes, but
everyone
never done mac
does
and
it
cheese
now. That's
Man,
something that happened in the last decade or two, where everyone has a mac and cheese, and if done right, it's fantastic. Like you get a nice homemade baked mac and cheese, and not the weak
crunchy top layer of cheese.
Yeah, not the weak cheese where they just do something quick and easy. Where you have like maybe a cheese blend, like you throw a Colby Jack or something in there mixed with it, and then you've got like the breadcrumb kind of topping with it. Fantastic.
So good.
Yeah, don't serve. I mean, look, as much as I love like Kraft and Velveeta, you don't serve that for those meetings. For those
what I
meals.
did miss not having like a big get together is a giant plate of deviled eggs, and I didn't do it myself because I was just doing all the other food, and I'm like, that's what I'm missing.
I had a family who made a big thing of deviled eggs, and I made sure to get at least 8 of them.
Of course.
Yeah, because how often do you see it? Now, I have to talk to them about their deviled egg recipe, because I don't think a lot of people are using enough mustard in it. So it tastes a little weak. Like you're trying to disguise it with the paprika sprinkled on top, and that only does so much. It's like you need that tanginess in the egg to complete the deviled eggs. I saw something in the chat real quick.
I would eat my weight in deviled eggs.
Crack the Whip saying, you're out there milking your finger and you're worried about salmonella. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for bringing this up. Thursday night, we get home. I'm dealing with this. I still have to brine the turkey for the next day.
Right.
So I'm like, I've got the flesh wound on my finger, and I'm trying to figure this out. I have a box of medical grade gloves that was from the pandemic that was never opened. And, what are they called? The nitrate gloves or something? The ones that, right?
Nitrile.
Yeah, something like that. So I had those. I'm like, oh, wait, I got them in a cabinet somewhere. I went and found the box, cracked it open. I had one hand in the glove, the other hand free to do whatever. And while I was doing
the other
everything,
one in your pocket.
Yes, and the other one holding a peace sign. And while I was doing all that, so when all right, this part's done, I would take the glove off, throw it out, grab a new glove, put it back on. So yes, I had was very mindful and cautious of that while dealing with a raw turkey and the brine and all of that shit. So I had my hand in the glove while I was doing everything else.
Now, who ate this food that you prepared? And did you warn them and have to tell them about your finger story?
They all knew.
And that you prepared with gloves.
They all knew. Everyone that was staying at my house is the ones that had the food the next day. They all knew, and they were fine with it. Made everything. Was great. And then when, the next day I had to take the big bag of turkey, they're like, you got to untie it and then spill it over. I went, fuck that. I took scissors, cut the corner, drained it that way. And then once it was all drained out, opened the bag, took the turkey out, rinsed the turkey down, and then did the oil and everything else. But everything with gloves. I kept changing the gloves over and over. Like I was. Was
it a simpler process this time around? Because last year you had some issues with the brine and bag, and this year you told me you were going to do it on your floor to avoid said issues.
So last year when I went to do it, I had it on the counter and everything, and then gravity works, and then the water just kind of shifted and tipped over, and I had to grab it real fast as it was gushing out, and then I had brine water on my cabinets, in my stove, down on the floor, and I spent another hour cleaning up the place instead of going to bed. So this year, had the bag in the pan on the floor. Mm-hmm. Had the turkey in the bag in the pan on the floor. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. I hope she dies. I did all of that, put it all together, and then I'm holding it like this. I'm working like I drained my finger. I'm draining the air of the bag, like step by step, rung by rung, higher and higher. Got down to the base there, tied it all up. It's like a finely tuned water balloon.
Mm-hmm.
Had it in the pan, went out to the other fridge, put it in the fridge in the garage, and there it sat for 14 hours before I took it out to cook it. It only took like 3.5 hours to cook the turkey.
Mine cooked pretty quick too, and I don't cook mine in an oven anymore. I bought one of those roasting things, electric roasters, and I just get everything in there. Put the lid on, turn it on, and it doesn't make my house hot without the oven, so it'll not freeze up to do sides. And
did your turkey have the little thing in there, the little red thing?
No, it didn't this time.
No, because you keep seeing that. It's like, even on the labels for the turkeys, they're like, wait for the red thing to pop up, and then you know that it's correct. There's no red thing in there, and plus, if there was, I wouldn't trust it anyway. I have a digital thing that you just jam it in there. I think I'm going to go buy myself the digital ones that you can monitor on your phone.
Yeah, those run like $140, like a good one.
But I think that's worth it.
Yeah.
For when you're
if you're going to do that more often.
Well, I got prime rib season coming up for Christmas.
I love that that's a season. It's so good.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. And there's
it's pie season.
Yeah. We're in peppermint season right now, and I'm living my best life as the kids say with that.
Did you end up buying that? Because that price looked ridiculous.
No, I did not. What we're talking about here, let me see if I can pull that up. There was, I went to a place that I frequent called Williams Sonoma, and it's a high-end kitchen and kitchen goods kind of place.
It's like a Pottery Barn.
Is it really?
A little bit.
All right.
I would compare it to Pottery Barn.
All right. So, yeah, here it is. So I went in there. I was picking up some things. They have some peppermint products that I like to get for gifts for people or, that I also enjoy. And now the kid has experienced it, so the kid likes to enjoy some of that as well. And do I got to move this to the other screen? I guess I do. That's why it wasn't showing up. So I'm in there, and I'm looking through stuff, and there's these dark chocolate peppermint bark cookies in a giant tin. And I'm like,
that sounds great.
It looks fantastic, right? So here we are. These dark chocolate tins. Can't make this any bigger, right? No. Okay. So I'm like, all right, this looks great. They look fantastic. They look upscale, high-end product, ingredients that they use. All right, let me see how much it is. I flip it over to see the price. $32.95.
$32
for a tin of cookies.
So cookies, $33. That is a ridiculous price.
Yes. So I'm like, no, I can't justify that in my head. Now, for other things that are that expensive, I can justify that. I can't justify that for a tin of cookies. There's just no way. Can't do it. I have people in my family that like old-fashioned drinks. So I go there, and they have these high-end Woodford Reserve bourbon barrel cherries that they make old-fashions or Manhattans or things like that. So I have some family members. I'll buy a jar of those cherries. They also had an amaretto cherry this year, which I was like, okay, that's interesting. I don't know if that works in their drinks because I don't drink that stuff. But the lady was saying, she goes, I think these are probably sweeter than your normal cherries with the amaretto. I said, okay, I'll just stick with the Woodford Reserve cherries. But like some of those things were like $26 a bottle, $27 a bottle for the cherries. Right. That I can justify. Thing of cookies, as great as they looked, can't do it.
No, because at that point you buy those cookies, you're not sharing with anybody else. You're going, no, these are going to be specifically mine because for $33, I'm going to hoard every one of these things.
Right, and there's probably like 12 in that tin, and then you go, I just spent $33 for 12 cookies, and they're already gone. Look, it's bad enough when people say that, because I like the Tate's Bake Shop cookies, and they're saying those are expensive. A little, but they're worth it. Yeah. Anyway.
Not too bad.
So that was Thanksgiving.
Anyway, before we move on from Thanksgiving, you brought up The Consumer. Go check out The Consumer. We did a review of the DiGiorno Thanksgiving pizza, and it's getting mixed reviews. A lot of people are like, that sounds disgusting. Some people really like it. DiGiorno themselves said, Happy Thanksgiving. That was nice of them to do that.
Yes, DiGiorno reached out and liked the video that we had.
Yep. So I did the video. I thought it was fantastic. I think that if they did that more often, I would definitely have that. But yeah, go check that out on The Consumer. It was tasty.
Yeah,
some people were like, that sounds gross, and I was like, no, it's really, really good.
Yeah, there's Jordan's video. It looks like a quiche.
It's a deep dish. It's Detroit style, so it's like that deeper dish, kind of like crispy edges.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little bit thicker than a normal pizza, not traditional crust.
Yeah, no sauce. It's actual turkey gravy on it.
Yeah, turkey gravy.
Yeah, DiGiorno. Look, you can even see their other comment here.
Yeah,
they enjoyed it very much. So Jordan is now internet famous.
DiGiorno famous.
DiJordan famous now.
It's not delivery. It's DiJordan.
That was terrible. I should never have tried to
worst.
shoehorn that. All right. Let's move on to some actual news stories and videos and things that we have here. I want to talk real quick just because this story is getting bigger and bigger. It happened in New York City, and a few blocks away from the tree lighting, from all of this stuff, the CEO of United Healthcare was executed walking in front of a building, and it was caught on surveillance.
Yeah.
And it wasn't... The reason why we have to address it this way, because up until now, I think everybody understands what's happened. But before, they were like, well, how do you know it wasn't a random thing? It's like, it's obvious it wasn't a random thing. The guy was sitting there waiting. You saw him prep the gun and aim it and take a shot. And then it's a .22, so sometimes they don't automatically put it back in the chamber. So he's doing that to hit the thing to do another shot. It was obviously planned hit. It wasn't a robbery gone wrong. It wasn't anything.
No, because he didn't take anything. He shot the guy and then left.
Yeah, and he walked over one more time to make sure he shot him a third time, I think it was, when he was up close. And then he ran across the street and went away. So I kept saying, yeah, this is definitely was deliberate. I don't know the motive behind it, but it was not an accident. It was not, he looked at the guy the wrong way and, got shot. It wasn't any of those things. It was planned. It was an execution.
This was deliberate.
Right.
And it was right before like a board meeting too. So like the board meeting was like scheduled for 8. That guy was walking up around 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And a guy came in, shot the guy, had a malfunction, got it to work again, shot, I think 2 more, like he said, 2 more times, maybe 3. And then, he bounced. He was out. So
this happens. They're putting out, bulletins all over the place for Crime Stoppers and what have you. If you see the guy, let us know. Now, initially, they were having a hard time trying to track, which was weird because it's New York City. Every block is got cameras somewhere. Mm-hmm. So it's hard. It's almost impossible to hide nowadays in New York City. unless you're inside of a building, because you walk anywhere in the street, there's several cameras in every direction recording everything. So guy ran off. They were having a hard time trying to track it down. Apparently some tech nerdy guy had an inkling about city bikes and tracked that this guy was on a city bike and found the bike the guy used and tracked it down from the location, the time, and all of that stuff. They don't have a name. Obviously, the guy didn't use his real name, didn't use a real card that was his for this thing, but had an idea that traced a path for this bike from where he was on the Upper East Side down to the lower side, beneath Central Park. Sent it over to investigators, and they were like, this is credible, and went from there. So with that information, they started searching cameras down that way and found this. They found this shot here. I don't know where the guy is at, because it doesn't look like a subway station or a train station.
He's at a coffee shop. So I guess either a coffee shop or where is he at? I've got it right here. He was at United Healthcare CEO. Yeah, so he was at the hostel he was going to stay at. So he was talking to a female employee, and she was kind of flirting with him. He was kind of flirting with her, and at one point she asked him to lower his mask and give her a big smile, and that could be the best possible scenario right now. So yeah, it was at a hostel.
Okay, so they find this, and I'm like, oh, it's Jake Gyllenhaal, and then apparently everyone else, as I posted it, everyone else was like, oh, it's Jake Gyllenhaal. So they're trying to find this guy. Now, there are still people that are out there saying, oh, whatever the motive might not be what you're thinking. I go, no, this was intentional.
100%.
I think my thoughts on it is that I think it's not this guy is disgruntled with United Healthcare. I think he was paid or something from somebody else to make a point. That they're like the Untouchables, touchable. You remember when they opened up the elevator and the accountant guy is dead in there, and they wrote on the wall in the blood, touchable. It was to send a message to make a point. Other people then started to find information that apparently he sold a bunch of stock and made like $102 million like a day or two before this conference where they were announcing something. I don't remember to what detail what the announcement was or something they were disclosing, but it looks like it could be a case of insider information as to why he sold this thing. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It's still not determined. They're looking for this guy, and as the time we're doing this show, they haven't found the guy yet. So they're trying to put together the motives. I think if it was not somebody that was making a case against him for insider trading, I think it was United Healthcare is the most notorious for denying claims for everybody. They make millions of dollars. They deny millions of dollars of claims. They're the biggest one out there that has caused the most problems for people that need insurance, that are required to have insurance, and then getting fucked over by insurance. I can't say that this is actually what it is, but my opinion on it, my thought is that everyone's feeling a little brave right now, a little jumpy, and they're sending a message to people saying these billionaires, these CEOs, whatever, you're fucking with people and they're not taking it anymore. Should they have gone this way? Absolutely not. But no. We've seen this through history. We've seen this through not just American history, world history, where, a company gets too greedy. What happens? Somebody comes over and, assassinates somebody, kills somebody. Something happens when it gets to that point. We've seen this through time, through the Romans, through everything. You
French
see that.
Revolution, the czars of Russia, like it is.
All of this stuff.
You get a little too high on your horse there.
It looks exactly like other times in history. It's like, company got too big, was making too much money, feeding off and at the expense of people who really needed it. And somebody finally decided to say, enough. This is now going to happen. Should it have happened that way? Absolutely not.
No.
But I think that's what happened. Unless it's the insider trading thing and there's a whole chain of command of how this got pulled off, I think it's somebody who's disgruntled about getting fucked over by United Healthcare and was making an example of this guy.
I think people are just getting to a boiling point where they're just kind of fed up.
Yeah.
Everything's expensive. We can't afford anything. Everyone, at the CEO level, corporate level, presidential, government, whatever, they're making money and we're not.
Yeah.
So, and it's getting to a point where it's people are going to get desperate. These things are going to happen.
You saw stuff like this happen during when was the stock market crash? It was the 20s or the 30s? 1920s, 1930s?
1920s.
End of the 20s, right?
Yeah.
When that happened, you saw mass suicides for people who lost everything. They were, killing themselves over their financial, everything they had,
everything
taken away from them. But you also saw the other side where they went after business owners, landowners, corporation owners, whatever, and were fucking up businesses, burning down places, and killing heads of companies because of situations like this.
Right.
It's terrible to think, but that was my first reaction, and I still am playing that card until other information comes out. I think somebody was sending a message to these insurance companies like, we're not going to fucking take this anymore. And I saw what happened, to my place down in Florida a couple years ago. The insurance companies were sending out notices that at this certain amount of time, your hurricane insurance, your house insurance, all that stuff is going to expire because they're leaving the state. They sent notices to people in Florida that your coverage was going to expire at a certain time because they were packing up and leaving the state because they did not want to handle the coverage for people in Florida anymore because it got too expensive.
Yeah.
Well, DeSantis had to step in and had to make an actual bill that passed saying that these companies were not allowed to just, pick up stakes and leave. They had to stay there by law. They were required to stay there if they wanted to sell any kind of insurance, not just the homeowner's insurance or hurricane insurance, flood insurance, whatever. If you wanted to sell boat insurance, you wanted to sell life insurance, you wanted to sell, you couldn't sell anything unless you sold everything in the state of Florida. So they all had to stay. Where this sucks is that he didn't put anything in the bills that regulated what they charged.
Yeah, it got very expensive.
So when my dad died and had their house down there, we're dealing with that. We got a notice that the following August, the insurance and everything was going to be canceled because they were leaving. Then this whole thing happens within a year. The bill passes. Then I was told that the insurance for the house was going to be $32,000 for that policy because they're on the ocean, because of all this other stuff. $32,000. And I said, that is fucking ridiculous. We could sell that place, move 2 miles or something like that, 5 miles inland past what was called the evacuation zone.
Right.
And it's a fraction. Doesn't matter how big the house is. It was a fraction of the insurance they were charging.
That insurance, that's for a year, right?
Yeah.
That's a fourth of what I paid for my house.
Yeah.
Here in Arizona. Like, it's ridiculous. There's no reason that should be that expensive.
Yeah. So it was a whole fucking to-do. But this is where people are at. You're required by law to have these insurance companies, these contracts, these agreements with them. But they're not required by law to cover everything. So you have to pay them, but they don't have to pay you. And it's gotten so fucking crazy over the last several years that I think something like this was bound to happen. We don't know. We don't know if that's what it was, but my theory on it is that people snapped, somebody like lost family members or something happened where their claims were denied, and they just went, fuck this, and they found out where this guy was and he was touchable, and that's what they did.
Well, and this is another thing that was coming up. I was going to bring this up. Crack the Web says, go figure, Anthem just decided to revert their anesthesia time limit after yesterday. What a wild coincidence. Yeah, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield was going to institute a policy where they're only going to cover anesthesia with anesthesiologists during procedures for a limited amount of time. So if you had booked a procedure that was supposed to take 2 hours, that's all they were going to cover, which means if that goes long for some reason, 3 hours, 4 hours, you're going to get a bill for those extra hours from the anesthesiologist. They won't cover it. And this was going to be such a huge ordeal. They just decided they were going to halt it, basically saying that there was widespread misinformation about the policy. So they're not going to go forward with the policy until they can make sure. No, you were going to do this policy. Shit went down. And now people are calling you out, and you're going to have to just, eat crow and say, oh, we're just going to reverse it. It's kind of ridiculous. They're nickel and diming every single little thing. And this is why Erik has to do World War I triage in his basement, because going to the doctor sucks. Like, it just sucks.
No,
man.
I wouldn't mind going to the doctor. I just felt going to an ER on Thanksgiving night was just going to be worse than me dealing with it myself. But anyway, we'll figure out how the rest of this case goes as information
ongoing.
becomes readily available. But that's just my theory on it. I don't know if you feel different or you have any other theories of your own.
No, I think this is, I don't think this is like a high, I don't know if anyone hired the guy, but I do feel like this is probably more personal than some big trying to set a message from like a group of people. I think this person's, he probably had a family member that got screwed over by United Healthcare, or, something a little bit more grassroots, a little more down to home. And it's just, it gets to these people to where they're going to take, vigilante justice to these corporations and these people. And it's not the right way to do things, but it's definitely sending a bigger message across the board.
Crack the Whip also in the chat saying, by the way, is your avatar the axe for when Mario jumps over Bowser in the first Super Mario game?
Looks like it.
And it moves the bridge. So they're very, very well done. He said, and pretty much every insurance company now took down their Meet the Team pages. So you don't have their list of employees anymore.
You can't see people anymore.
Well, it doesn't mean that they didn't already screen cap it and did their research.
Oh, trust me, there's always the ways to find that stuff.
Yes, it is the Super Mario Bros. 1 axe. Very good. Well done, my friend. All right, moving on. Other torment and trials going on in the news. This is just real quick. The Tuah girl.
I'm so tired.
Haley Welch.
She's on minute 14 of her 15 minutes.
No, she's on minute 19 of her 15 minutes.
I was being generous, but yes, you're right.
So this I didn't know until this all fell apart. I had no idea this was happening. So she joined a company that was doing cryptocurrency.
Oof.
And put out her own coin, if you will.
Yeah.
And it immediately tanked and lost everybody money.
Oh,
and
yeah.
People are now rallying online wanting her to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see. The Tuah meme coin, as it was called, the developer made over $2 million in 10 minutes. 96% of the supply is held by one cluster. So the main takeaway is stay away from celebrity coins. Here's the situation. Also, she was apparently in one of those live forum rooms that they have on Twitter or X.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what they're called, but you all pop in, you can listen to people talk. It's no visual. It's just an audio room. And she was in there with the developer and somebody and a couple other people. And one guy, I guess, works in the tech field, has his own business, was asking questions about, and he's like, I need to know what's going on here with this, because it seems like you guys own there was only like 3% of the coin made available to the public at first. Mm-hmm. And then they bought 96% of the 3% that was brought out to the public. And he was asking to address like how much they actually are making off of this thing. She pops in. She goes, hey, guys, just letting you know, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. We'll talk to you all tomorrow. There's audio recordings of it. It's out there. And she's like, I'm just going to go to bed. And the guy goes, okay, but
guess we're done here.
Could you at least address, my question as what's going on? And then the other guy, the developer, I guess, was in there. And he said, yeah, look, we're just going to, we'll circle back and regroup for tomorrow and continue on with this stuff. And the guy that's asking the question is like, but I asked you a question, so you're just all going to leave and you're not going to answer it. And that's where the clip ends. Mm-hmm. So they left. She just went, all right, guys, I'm going to go to bed. Okay.
Yeah, she took off. No one took responsibility, and they basically are just dying on that hill. Like that that they did everything above board. They did everything the way it was supposed to. And it's just, this is what happens. This is what happens when you invest. And it's like, no.
So she put out a video, I guess a day or two ago, that it's live, go out and buy it and whatever. And then everybody caught on real quick and said, this is terrible. Some people were writing saying, I'm down $20,000 right now on the Hawk token. I really hope that Haley Welch can provide us with some roadmap updates or something. I for one, am completely shocked and surprised by the way this turned out. Please help. A lot of people are posting the stock market meme from South Park where he goes, and it's gone.
And it's gone.
I guess here, I'm sorry the time frame isn't actually representative of how fast everybody who invested in the Hawk lost all their money. It happened before she even got her announcement out. Hawkcoin investors lost their money in negative time. And then there's screen
wasn't
caps
even fully
here.
live and people were already done.
There's screen caps here showing, let's see, Hawk token insiders kept over 97% of the supply and are actively selling it. So they bought it before it was public and they're selling this whole thing is like, it's hard to buy into or believe any of this cryptocurrency shit because of stuff like this. And then Bitcoin, like, oh, it's over $100,000 now. And people are like, I'm glad I got in. And it's like, okay, yeah, I guess I missed an opportunity, but I wasn't going to put my money into it when I didn't fully understand it. And to this day,
still don't understand.
I still don't understand it. And you don't really get people that they keep saying, oh, it's independent currency outside of the universal banking system and all.
Like, no, I've never heard of anybody using it to pay for anything.
Well, no, that's not true. El Salvador switched it to their national currency, to Bitcoin, and tanked that country.
I was going to say, yeah, and how are they doing?
Not well. I think they had to walk it back a bit and, let their currency go back through their traditional means of however they were honoring their currency. But he was trying to be progressive, and, of course, that was corrupt, too. I guess the president of El Salvador was doing a lot of shady shit with that. Yeah, so people are fucking furious. They're upset. It's just like they lost their money before. It's not even like they bought in and then they watched it over time and they lost their money. It's like they lost their money before it launched. Like they were buying. It's like when you buy a game in advance and you buy it in pre-launch, and it's downloaded, but it doesn't activate till the day the game releases, right?
Yep.
You buy the game, day comes for the release, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're not selling the game." But I just bought it. I downloaded the thing. I can't use this unless you activate it. Yeah, I'm sorry, but we're going to sell the activations to another company, and you can buy it from them. What? No, that's not how we're doing it. So anyway, she's pretty fucked.
People are wishing prison time for her. People telling her like she should have done OnlyFans to make her money instead of this stupid shit. Like,
what was the other celebrity coin? Remember? There was a thing, it might have been a Super Bowl ad or something during the pandemic.
Oh, I don't remember.
Where it was like Matt Damon and several other celebrities.
Oh, yeah, you had to scan like a QR code, and then people couldn't get the QR code to work, and it was just a whole thing. Is it the one where Tom Brady invested in it and then got really scammed out? They made a big joke about it at his roast. Tom Brady.
Yeah, crypto.com.
Got it, yep.
So I guess all these celebrities that were in the ad were paid to through crypto to do these ads instead of getting like cash, right?
Right.
Yeah, people got a lot. I guess people got scammed out of a lot of stuff here, and Matt Damon had to issue a statement. He's like, "I just took it for a job. It was an ad. It was good money, whatever." So you can't really fault them. Maybe you can. I don't know. It could be the same for her. Maybe they just said, look, we want to use your name and you endorse it. We'll pay you all this money. But then, the public who's really iffy on her to begin with are now like, fuck this bitch. We're done with
here's the thing. Like, if you don't understand something, don't take the job. If you don't know what you're selling, don't take the job. Like, you have to vet these things, especially people like Matt Damon or any other celebrity that's high profile. Matt Damon. You got to know what you're getting into. I know a lot of these things go through your agents, but at some point you have to have a hand in what you do. So giving this, it just took it as a job. No, that's a bullshit answer. Like, it really is. You took money. You thought you got in on the ground floor because that was back when, like COVID was happening and everyone was investing in all these cryptocurrencies, I made money off Dogecoin. I was in on it. But I was smart enough to get the hell out and be done with it. And now it's like worth nothing.
Yeah.
Just get in as a joke if you're bored, and that's it. And I made some money and I'm done. Like, I'm never doing that stuff again. I don't care about cryptocurrency.
Remember?
I don't care about Crypto the dog and Superman. That's how much I don't care about crypto.
Remember, like 4 years ago, I think it was, our group of people, somebody who convinced us to try to invest in a lot of these things.
Uh-huh.
I still own Doge.
Do you still have Dogecoin?
I still have Doge. It is at 43 cents right now.
No.
I have a bunch of different ones here. These are ones I invested where they were like next to nothing. So
right, it's like 0.0001 cent. Sure, I'll throw $5 down.
And it was during a time too where like the Robinhood app was like, if you buy this stuff here, we'll give you free stocks and stuff. So I have all these other free stocks that are barely worth anything. I have that, and then somebody gifted me Bitcoin, but they did it through PayPal. I think they did it through PayPal.
Yeah.
So in order to, I couldn't transfer it. I'd have to sell it and then rebuy it through the Robinhood app, which I was like, fuck that.
Right.
So whatever it's doing in my PayPal. Oh, fuck. If I own Bitcoin, I should take a look. Maybe I have money in that. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, if anyone wants to donate Bitcoin, just let us know. We don't know how to download it, apparently, or use it. But,
let's see.
It'd be nice. Look, don't disclose all your financial gains on the show.
No,
and your poker face is not really helping either.
No, it's not a poker face, but I'm seeing the green arrow. It says up 52.12%.
Nice.
So,
his Oliver Queen is up in green. We're good.
All right, I got to talk to my financial guy about this because I'm not going to touch this. I don't know what to do. I own Ethereum.
Looks like Eric's coming to Vegas with me.
That's I own great. Ethereum. Is that's a thing?
That's another cryptocurrency. Ethereum was supposed to be pretty big. It's supposed to be the next, like kind of like a Bitcoin.
Ethereum is currently at almost $3,900.
It's riveting.
I don't know any of this shit. I have stuff and I don't know what it means.
Just let it sit.
That's what I did. Like all the shit that's in my Robinhood app is not worth shit. Apparently the Bitcoin I have in PayPal is worth something.
We're going to know that Erik cashed in when his studio looks completely different. Just completely revamped.
When you see West Palm Beach behind me, then yeah.
We're doing the show early because it's the high tide.
No. But you don't get full coins. You get like fractions of a coin or
it's
something.
I own 1/15 of Bitcoin.
All right. I don't know what to... All right, this is new information I'm not aware of. So I'm going to have to call my finance guy and say, what do I do with this? It's just sitting there. Because I know if I move it, I'll have to pay taxes and other shit with it. So I'll call him and... All right. Well, I got something out of this for me. I mean, that's great. Tuah girl's fucked. I have an old clip. I wanted to just tie it into this. That we never got to. She did one of those Celebrity World Series of Poker kind of things.
Oh, okay.
And I went on there and I found the streams, and I remember seeing this, catching it in some way, shape, or form when this was happening. Mm-hmm. And they were asking her about how, like, because she won a couple rounds before she lost everything. And she doesn't know how to play. She doesn't know what she's doing. She just would go, okay, I'll try that. And then it was just dumb luck, right? So, okay, yes, we have those two. This is the clip from her that I pulled from the poker reporter.
Oh my God.
This could be applied to how she's handling her meme coin here, but check this out.
Talk to me about your confidence. I saw online that you haven't played that much poker, but you seem telling everybody that you're going to take everyone's money. Where does this confidence come from?
It's coming out of my ass. It's coming out of my ass. I'm not very good at poker, and I've never played poker, so we're going to see how this goes.
That's everything she does. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I'm a crack baby. That's all she ever says.
I don't know. I got famous because I was drunk one night, and that was it.
Right.
That's my claim to fame.
Okay.
All right. People like that.
Moving on from her. What else do we got here? You were talking about the Linkin Park album before we went on.
I was actually, I think, listening to it before we even went live, too.
So there's a couple of things involving Linkin Park here before we get to your thoughts on this. So what's the festival that they were supposed to be a part of?
Sick New World.
Where was that taking place?
Vegas. So it's the same venue that they were doing when we were young. It's the same promoter. So it's like they do a goth alt rock, new metal type of show called Sick New World. They usually do it in the spring, and then
there was one I saw
when we were young,
not too long ago. I think it was like an emo thing. Emo 90s 2000s stuff. It was they had one in I think in
like an
Seattle.
Actual festival.
Yeah, they had one in they had one in Vegas, they had one in Seattle. It was all the same festival, they just had it in different locations.
Right.
But it had all the bands, that fit that genre, My Chemical Romance, POD, that kind of shit. It seems to be the big thing now is these group festivals instead of having it's like a lot of these smaller bands aren't going to make money, I guess, touring. So if we just do it as a festival, that at least they can sell their merch and try to make some money off of this.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of foot traffic too. I mean, it's essentially you're advertising at that point.
So Linkin Park and Metallica were some of the big headliners for this festival, and they each required $5 million each to perform at this festival.
Yep.
And they were pretty steadfast on that. They were not willing to give or budge or at least help out with the festival in any way. And then it got to the point where the festival now shut down.
Yeah. So what had happened was, I guess, to break even or to make a little bit of money, I think they had to sell 60,000 tickets. They only sold 20,000. And they announced this before When We Were Young. And it was such a big deal because, you got Metallica, you had Queen of the Stone Age, you had Linkin Park, and they did not sell out. It crashed. So they issued a
that
statement.
New tour with the new singer just crashed. Like nobody had.
No, the new tour's fine. In fact, Linkin Park actually announced like an actual world tour. So, and that the first couple of shows was just to get her out there and say, "Hey, look, we got a new singer. We just put out a new album in November. They're going to be touring in 2025. One of the stops was this Sick New World festival. So, and Metallica's touring and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I don't mind these festivals. I just think they went too big too quickly, and now they're booking these major acts like Metallica and Linkin Park, who are demanding way too much money from the promoter, and they at this point have to sell out to make money. And now people are going no because they're charging so much, the ticket prices went up. I mean, a single day ticket was almost over $400 and some odd dollars.
That's like Coachella prices.
Pretty much, yeah. And then to be stuck on the pavement in Vegas all day long. So.
Well, so that's one strike for them. Two, you were listening to the album, and you're not completely sold on it.
It's one of those things where the album is fine in some respects because they've made this album with her in mind. So this is Linkin Park with the new singer, Emily. I don't think I want to listen to Linkin Park with her singing the old songs. She doesn't have the same vocal range. It's not the same. She's trying a little too hard to kind of feel like Chester. I mean, you got Mike Shinoda doing his thing. She's the Chester fill-in. Some of the songs feel right because they made them for her, but any of the old stuff just seems really, really off. And it's not the same and doesn't feel right.
Yeah, that's going to happen. But I heard the one song when they announced her, and I was like, all right, best of luck to him. I'm not following this. It's not for me.
Yeah, and like when they announced the tour, I'm sitting there going, "Oh, I mean, I can go." Like, my daughter likes bands with female lead singers. She likes, stuff like that. So it's nice to kind of introduce her to new genres with lead singers with female singers and things like that. And even I'm sitting there going, I don't know if I want to sit through this Linkin Park, because I saw Chester on a tour with 30 Seconds to Mars and AFI. It was a great show. And then he passed, and I'm like, well, I've seen him with, Linkin Park. I don't know if I want to see her with Linkin Park.
Right.
So it just kind of feels weird.
I have more stuff to show you to cheer you up and put you in the good holiday spirits if you want that.
God, I could use some holiday spirits.
What's your holiday spirit of choice?
I really don't. I don't really have like holiday spirits. I do like, when I'm not feeling great during the holidays, like have a nice hot toddy.
I do that when I'm sick.
Frontier
Again,
medicine.
another frontier medicine. Yeah,
exactly.
I just remembered there was a game.
I'm not an eggnog person.
I hate things in nog form. I can never say it enough. I just remembered there was a game I used to play way back in what they call the day. It was called Freddy Farkast Frontier Pharmacist. And he was like a gunslinger, but he was a pharmacist. So you're going out there and...
Was this one of the like Sierra games that we all
Yeah,
love?
I think so.
Oh,
I think it was one of them. Yeah. I don't know if anyone remembers that game. I got to go look. If I can find that on Steam, I'd love to play that. I'll stream it. Because that game was so goofy and ridiculous.
Those kinds of games usually don't make it to Steam. You have to go like good old games like GOG. Or like try to find like an internet.
That's not true, because I bought Maniac Mansion and Zach McCracken and stuff. Those are LucasArts. So I bought
those are LucasArts.
Sierra had like the Indiana Jones. No, that was LucasArts too.
No, that was LucasArts.
Sierra had Leisure Suit Larry. No, Leisure Suit Larry's on Steam.
Leisure Suit Larry is a Sierra game, yeah.
All right, I'll have to go look and see if I can find it. If it is, I'll future gaming stream coming soon.
Freddy Farkast Frontier Pharmacist. Here we go.
Okay. Well, since you couldn't hear our commentary for the...
Yeah, you can get it on Good Old Games, GOG.com.
Okay. Did you have a swing set growing up when you were a kid?
No, I always wanted one.
All right. So
like
we did.
Big metal one with the chain swings.
Right. We did, but for some reason, I guess in the 70s and 80s, parents didn't really think about the fact that you needed to cement the swing sets into your property.
Yeah, because if you can get those going, you can make those things rock on the
they would walk, right?
Yeah.
So now this is hearsay, from what I was told, I think it was because of the 84 Olympics, I was out on the swing set trying to do gymnastics, and I swung the seat of the swing over, thinking it was just going to go over like that, but not realizing, again, gravity works. You go up here, and then you quickly just drop because you lost all momentum. Mm-hmm. I was swinging back and forth so hard, I got it to the point where it was about to swing over. I went crashing into the top pole of the frame, was hanging upside down by the belt loop of my pants, got caught on a hook or something.
On the top part or on the swing itself?
On the top part of the thing.
Gotcha.
So I'm hanging upside down by the belt loop, screaming as my parents came running out, and all my dad did was laugh at me. My mom's trying not to laugh. Right. My mom's trying not to laugh and trying to get me down, but I'm hanging upside down by my belt loop on my swing. Now, that's not why I'm telling you this. That's just a fun anecdote. The point I wanted to get at is the swing sets. People put up swing sets. And nowadays, when you see these elaborate swing sets, usually they're in a Costco or a Sam's Club or something, or they're in like posh catalogs, like an LL Bean catalog or something. And you're seeing it's all cedar wood. It's mounted. This whole thing is a construction project. It's not just something you put together like cheap IKEA furniture. There's a whole process. You got to get a contractor and all of this to put this together. But back in the day, they didn't. It was just aluminum framing and chain link swings, and you would have
thin plastic seat that would get weathered.
Yes, you'd have the two swings, and then usually the third one was that thing where one person sat on one side, or other person sat on the other side, and you would just put. It looked like those old timey.
It was like a seesaw type of situation.
Yeah, it was like those old timey. Things they used to have on the railways.
Yeah.
You would see like prospectors in gold rush times where they were just cranking the thing so it would self-move. So you had this thing on a swing set and going back and forth. And then if you got enough momentum, that thing, all of a sudden you start feeling the A-frame of the swings start walking because they're not bolted down.
Right.
I say all that to get to this because you think we would have progressed and learned 40, 50 years later that you need to cement these things. Well, apparently not, as we watch this.
Happy birthday to you.
There's women swinging really high.
Happy birthday, dear Susie. Happy birthday. Oh, shoot. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, I can see it leaning. There it is. Gone.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah, this thing was not properly secured. They're swinging super high, not to the point where they're going to flip over.
I like that screenshot right there.
That one?
No, the one before where it just looks like it's all tilted. The other girl's coming like just gonna fall.
Oh, like that? Yeah. The thing collapsed. It was walking and then collapsed. The A-frame on the screen left just gives out. The one girl has a sickening thud as she falls straight down. The other one was in momentum going up, and because the frame fell, she got yanked to the right and fell right on top of the other person. And it just reminded me of better times with swing sets. I'm like, it's still happening to this day. And they're
really
adults.
Good. I love it.
Do you know the Are You Hungry chef?
No.
Okay, so he's this guy online. He's pretty vulgar when he's showing you how to cook, and he shows you how to cook like you're a fucking idiot and treats you like you're an idiot.
I like that.
And he yells at you the whole time. What I found out is the girl that he's dating, I don't think they're married. I think they're just been dating forever. She's also an internet chef, but she's more highbrow, if you will. Like, she's showing you things. It's a prettier presentation than what he does.
Right.
He shows you how to do it and then yells at you for not knowing how to cook through the whole time. So I pulled 2 videos. There's one of him making mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving, and the other one he's doing, I guess the other day there was something that was trending about Matthew McConaughey has this homemade recipe for tuna salad that he put out online, and everybody was freaking out about this tuna salad recipe. So he makes that, or he makes Thanksgiving dinner. Which would you like to see?
Let's go Thanksgiving. We were just talking about Thanksgiving.
Okay, here we go. The guy's name is at AryaHungry, or AryaHungry. Sorry, on Instagram and other social media things.
Thanksgiving is coming up, and your mashed potatoes taste like shit. Don't fuck it up. Start with 3 Yukon Gold potatoes, 1 russet potato. Peel them and cut them in half. Salt. Potatoes go in. Generally, anything grown under the ground, you start with cold water first. Anything above the ground, you just start with boiling fucking water. Cook these until they're fucking cooked. In a separate pan, add 7 peppercorn, 2 bay leaves, half a shallot, 2 cloves of garlic, 4 sticks of thyme, a little bit of olive oil. Toast this on low-medium heat for 2 minutes. And then you add a pint of heavy whipping cream. Leave this on low heat until your fucking potatoes are ready. And all those flavors are gonna infuse into the fucking cream. In a separate pot, throw in a big knob of butter, and you're gonna brown it. What does browning the butter mean? You're gonna cook it on low heat until it turns fucking brown. If you have a potato ricer, obviously do it with that. But I don't have one, because I'm in the middle of a fucking desert. Put your potatoes in one of these things and
I got to point that out. He's got a little makeshift table and a burner. He's out in the middle of the desert.
It looked like he was like in an old busted out construction zone. Like they started building something and then they never finished it, so he's just out there.
He just carried everything out there and he's going to cook there.
Turned fucking brown! If you have a potato ricer, obviously do it with that. But I don't have one, because I'm in the middle of a fucking desert. Put your potatoes in one of these things and just smash it through. And now we grab our cream mixture and pour it in here. Because we're in the desert, we can just chuck shit. Pour the cream in slowly so your mashed potatoes...
He's throwing the garbage and the dirty pans just into the desert.
Those aren't fucking watery dog shit. Add the brown butter, 3 small knobs of cold butter, a little bit of salt, chives, and that's how you make the perfect mashed potato.
God, it does look good.
Right? But he's so intense.
Yeah, he's really got a lot of energy.
What he's been doing now is he's been starting to purposely slip in some of the fuck ups when he's shooting this stuff, because sometimes he goes so hard he starts laughing. He can't hold the character, so he leaves some of that in there for quick cuts. I want to show you this one here where he's making the tuna salad. I laughed at this way too hard.
We're making Matthew McConaughey's viral tuna fish salad. Don't fuck it up. I actually think this is gonna be really fucking good. What do I fucking know? First of all, everyone's calling it tuna fish. I don't know what other fucking type of tuna there is. Whatever. Start with 3 cans of canned tuna, 3 tablespoons of mayo. This is the secret. Mix the mayo with fucking wasabi, half of a diced red onion, half a can of corn, green fucking apple. Who the fuck is Matthew McConaughey? I'm pretty sure it's the guy with the broken nose that goes, wow. Shot of whatever vinegar you like, and a shot of lemon juice. Fresh lemon juice. And then you're gonna get 10 of these overpriced mini pickles and dice them. Pint of frozen peas. Who the fuck eats canned tuna voluntarily? You're not in a war zone and you're eating canned tuna? Are you a fucking retouch of agave syrup?
See, that's
I like how he cuts it off.
That's the stuff he's been adding in lately, and it's been very funny. Like it's creative editing, but
war zone and you're eating canned tuna? Are you a fucking retouch of agave syrup? And then you add in crispy fucking jalapeno chips. And now we fucking mix it all. The moment of truth. We didn't land on the moon. It's actually pretty fucking good. For how easy it is and how whatever, yeah, it's good. I probably wouldn't make it again because I don't eat canned fucking tuna because, you know, I'm not in a war zone. But it's pretty fucking good. Fuck you, Matthew McConaughey.
That's pretty good.
yeah, I love this guy. So
That's pretty cool.
every now and then I'm going to, something comes to light, I will bring it to your attention. All right, moving on. Do we give a shit about Wicked?
No.
I
Never.
don't know why everybody does. I mean, apparently it's a good movie, and that's fine. I'm not
I'll never see it.
not faulting people for it,
Again,
but
my daughter saw it, said too much singing. I'm like, all right, well, I'll take the opinion of a 13-year-old girl over everybody else in this genre.
It's made for the theater people. It's made for those, who have mental insecurities and are fragile in every other form of life. This is for them, and that's fine. It's not meant for us. I'm not going to shit on it because, this wasn't made for me. I don't care. What I've had a problem with, and what seems to be everyone else had a problem with, is the press that they did for this movie was far outshining the success the movie is having. Like
Right.
it was it was number 2 movie behind Moana 2.
No, I think Wicked actually ended up overtaking it. Now, Moana did well for the Thanksgiving holiday,
weekend. Moana 2 was number 1.
Yeah.
And now I guess it switched or what have you. And then apparently Gladiator 2 did very well. So they said it was one of the most successful weekends the movie industry has seen in a long, long time.
Yeah.
Their interviews were strange. Like the one who plays the witch, who started getting a lot of backlash because she didn't like that somebody fixed the promotional art for it to make it look like the theatrical poster for Broadway.
But you're taking away her soul.
It's because you're covering my face. You're stealing my identity and my soul and everything. And the people who made the poster just went, no, I was trying to make it look like the original poster, but with you guys. Like, whatever. They go and do interviews, and she loses her fucking mind. Like everything, she feels everything. So, like, when you have, what is it? When you have sensory overload, there's a condition where,
douchebag.
Yeah, but the ones where the sounds are too loud, the lights are too bright, like where they have all of that shit, right?
Sometimes that's a real thing, especially like if I.
No, I know there's people that have that, but she has everything at the same time. It's like, where are you? I'm from Ohio. Oh my God, you were such a beacon of light in this room. It's like all that fake horse shit.
Anybody that sits there and says I feel things more than anybody else can go fuck themselves.
Right.
Like I'm just so tired of that shit.
So, they're doing this stuff, and she overreacts, and she can't. And they only showed, maybe that's the only interviews they did, but they only showed the highlights from interviewers that obviously are big parts of gay media or the gay community, because you only know that not from just watching the clip, but they have to identify and introduce themselves as such within the interview, that, I work for this and I'm a big cover of gay media and all that. Like they're saying this. It's not just me, labeling or coming up with conclusions. It's in a lot of these clips.
Well, she has actually come out and said that she can relate to the character of Elphaba because she is a black and gay woman, because of the shit that the character goes through in the movie. And I'm like, that she was born to play this. Only she could have done this. And I'm like, all right, get over it. Fucking over it.
It was the character was bullied.
Right.
And I guess the story of Wicked is to show that who were supposed to be the good people were bad, and who were the bad people were actually good, and turned bad because
Star Wars movie.
Yeah, and turned bad because of, things that happened to him. Yeah, it's exactly right. It's Star Wars. But anyway, the interviews, they were so over dramatic. They were doing this all the time, where they the hand fans like by their eyes because they're about to cry. She's got the fucking bull ring through her nose, and they just kept touching each other weird, like with their hands.
They were practically like in each other's laps the whole time.
Yeah, it was like some weird kind of sensory deprivation kind of thing going on, and so everyone's catching on to this, and then another interview would come out, and another interview comes out. It's like, what the fuck is this? This is weird, right?
Right.
Well, I want to give these young ladies credit. Caroline Bainwicks, she's a content creator and a musician on Instagram and TikTok, and then Sienna Harbertross. She's a comedian, I guess, in Los Angeles. They got together, put this video together, recreating what the Wicked press interviews are like.
He chose to do with the roles was something that I think that should be studied.
Yeah.
I mean,
Where
it's
are
true.
You from? Dayton, Ohio.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Dayton, Ohio.
Did I say something wrong? It has been an honor to.
I want to know what's in her nose.
Cynthia.
Like it.
Oh yeah.
I'm wondering like what she stuck up there to do this.
It looks like one of those mountain climbing clips.
Yeah, like a carabiner clip.
Yeah.
During this hard time, I mean, her battling cancer.
Oh no, I'm just bold.
I'm sorry. I'm actually.
Let's hear that again.
Just bold.
Oh yeah.
I mean, her battling cancer.
Oh no, I'm just bold.
I'm sorry. I'm a little hungry.
Oh, she's hungry. This is okay.
Look like she's breastfeeding her.
Matt, she knows everything. She even knows. She understands the black experience. I don't think you understand. She's a chameleon. She's a shapeshifter. She knows more about being black than I would say even I do.
Okay, I'm gonna go potty.
Now she's carrying her out like
a baby.
Okay, love you. I love you.
Nobody and all of.
So now the girl playing Ariana Grande. Ariola Grande. She's walking into the ladies' room while the batshit crazy one is out in the hallway singing and doing that hand thing that a lot of singers do.
Right.
So we're joining her as she goes into the bathroom.
Girl, you know I hate that bitch.
So very well done. Find them on Instagram and give them props. Oh, we got to talk about the Spotify rap stuff real quick too.
Yeah.
When we come back, because there's some controversy that I'm having with the selections that they gave me, and we got to figure out how to fix this. So we will do that. We'll be right back.
More, it's Eric Nagel. It's Eric Nagel. Next.
Jordan, it's Christmas time, so you need to give that lady the stud that she really wants in her life.
Ain't me.
No, it ain't me either. It's diamond stud earrings from our pal Steven Singer. Real natural earthborn diamond stud earrings every Christmas season. It's the #1 gift that you could possibly give. You think getting tickets to Wicked is going to be it? No. Diamonds.
It's not going to do it this year.
Not at all. Steven Singer's gorgeous, authentic, natural diamond studs start at just $298. They're 100% eye flawless, near colorless, and come with his famous full value lifetime trade-in. You can use it to go, you have them for a while and you're like, you know what? I'm doing pretty good this year. I'd like to upgrade those things, make them a little bigger, a little more showy, if you will, a little more pure and clearer than the ones that I have here. You just take them down to Steven Singer, or you send them back, however they work it out, and use it to upgrade to your diamond studs anytime. Anytime. It's not like, I got to get it done in the year. Nope. Anytime. Take it back.
That's fantastic.
Steven also has the best guarantee in the business with a full 100-day, no risk, no hassle, money-back guarantee. So don't wait. Go right now to IHateStevenSinger.com and click on his diamond stud earring collection. Order with fast and free shipping, or you can go and visit Steven Singer and his fabulous showroom on the other corner of 8th and Walnut in the city of Philadelphia. Every pair comes with Steven's famous 14-karat gold safety silicone backs, keeping them safe and secure for years to come. So You got to go get the diamonds. You need a gift. You only have a couple weeks left to lock in that fast and free shipping. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com right now. Buy real diamonds from a jeweler that you can trust, Steven Singer Jewelers. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. And tell them that you heard about it on It's Erik Nagel. Don't f*** it up. I don't think that applies here for this. I don't know if we probably beeping that out.
Probably cut that out, yeah.
All right.
It's Erik Nagel. Follow the show on all social medias at It's Erik Nagel for ways to watch or listen to the show, both live and on demand. Go to itseriknagel.com.
Jordan, it's Christmas time, so give that lady the stud that she really wants. 22 Sierra Coffee. Wait, that's the wrong copy.
And still not the same stud.
All right, folks, if you're out there, you're drinking that sad, watery coffee that tastes like it was brewed through an old sock and barely gets you out of bed, then it's time to upgrade to Steven Singer's... I'm keep getting this confused. To 22 Sierra Coffee Company. It's veteran-owned and family-run and genuinely committed. 22 Sierra Coffee doesn't just make amazing coffee, they make a difference too by supporting veteran health and wellness events all across these United States. And also these guys are committed to making a difference in everybody's life. And let's be clear, this isn't the close your eyes and chug it down kind of coffee. It's rich, it's bold, it's deliciously smooth. They are mainly There are many carefully crafted blends to choose from, like their dark roast, aptly named Death from Above. I think we have a photo of that. There we are. Yeah, there they are. Going dark and Death from Above. Look how stylish they are, and they look great against your Christmas backgrounds. This blend was created to honor the brave men and women of the airborne community, making it the perfect gift for any veteran, active duty service member, or just a coffee lover who appreciates the sacrifices and bravery for those who serve the United States. Every bag of beans you buy supports nonprofits that helps veterans in the communities gain access to the help they need. So every sip is a small salute to those who served. And look, if you want the coffee that delivers and gives back, grab a bag or 2 or 20 of Sierra 22. Make it a 22 to fit the product here. Grab a bag of 22 Sierra Coffee. Listeners of It's Erik Nagel can get 15% off their order by using promo code ERIK, that's with a K, spelled correctly, E-R-I-K, at checkout. That's 22sierracoffee.com. Use promo code ERIK with a K and add that all in there and get 15% off. Enjoy your coffee for this holiday season.
It's Erik Nagel. It's Erik Nagel. He is back.
Segment 2 of the show. Erik, Jordan, telling you about television, movie, streaming updates, all the things you need to pay attention to and what you don't need to waste your time with. As we go into the holiday seasons, there should be some holiday programming that we talk about, but I haven't really seen anything that was worth mentioning other than I think like the Grinch is playing this weekend and the Rudolph ones, all the nonsense that everybody sees every year. But we do like to start off with what we've been watching. Jordan, what have you been watching?
The first thing, I will keep it holiday themed. The first thing I watched is a new movie, I believe on Paramount Plus, called Dear Santa, where Jack Black plays Satan. And a little kid who is dyslexic writes a letter to Santa, but mixed up the letters and sends the letter to Satan. So then he tries to grant the kid 3 wishes. It's all full of hijinks and shenanigans.
What platform?
I believe it's Paramount Plus.
Okay. Oh, I don't have that
Dear
anymore.
Santa.
So.
I'm sure you can find it.
I will resubscribe when we're ready to do Love Boat. I'll resubscribe to it, but for now, I got rid of a lot of streaming services I don't watch. So
yeah, so it's typical Jack Black fare. It wasn't terrible. I gotta just say that the ending just felt too saccharine, like too sweet.
Did he have a song that was custom for that thing?
No, but he did. Post Malone was in it. So Post Malone did a little bit, which was kind of fun. I kind of like Post Malone. I'm like not into his music a lot,
right?
But I think as a person, I think he's pretty cool. So, but yeah, it was one of those little heartwarming stories. Kids, hanging out with the devil. As did watch that. Speaking of kids, I did check out the new Star Wars property, Skeleton Crew. The first 2 episodes are now up on Disney Plus. They came out actually a day early. They released it on December 2nd. It was supposed to come out on the 3rd. I know Rob and I were talking about it in our chats. We weren't really selling it to you.
I don't think I have any interest in watching it.
I like it. I really do, but it brings me back to a time where you're watching things like The Goonies, you're watching things like E.T., very Amblin entertainment, the Steven Spielberg properties, but it's set in the Star Wars world, so it's very kid friendly. It's a kid centric story. Deals with space pirates. I think you would find it interesting. I don't know if it'd be like your typical Star Wars stuff, but I'm enjoying it so far. First 2 episodes are out now. I think they're going to do a weekly release, like Disney's been doing with the properties. But yeah, it definitely feels very, very adolescent. Like this would be the kind of Star Wars show that I would have loved as a kid. And now I understand that it's made for kids, so I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, as an adult, this is stupid, I hate it. Like I understand what it is, I understand what it's about, and I'm enjoying it. Jude Law is in it. He doesn't make an appearance until the 2nd episode, so they're setting up the larger story. A lot of creature effects, like they're doing all like the puppetry and stuff like that, so that is pretty cool. They're sticking to the old style of Star Wars filmmaking, which is I liked. And then
isn't one of the little creature kids like the same kind of that blue elephant looking thing from the Cantina Band?
He's not the same species, but it is a blue elephant looking thing. His name is Neil. Okay. And I would die for that little elephant. He's cool as shit. But I think what you're thinking of is Max Rebo and the Max Rebo Band, or the Figure and Dan Band.
Yeah,
Max
it looked
Rebo's
like that was his kid, or maybe this is the guy that grew up to be, in that band.
So no, Neil is awesome. I love Neil. It's well done. Like it really is a well done little show. I like it. So I'm excited to see where it goes. But yeah, it definitely feels like a Goonies type adventure because, deals with space pirates and, they find a treasure and do all this stuff. It's fun. And then the other property other than Dune, Prophecy, I've been catching up on that. The other new property that just came out today as we're doing the show Thursday is the new DC cartoon Creature Commandos. I watched the first of the 2 episodes.
This is the first entry from
official DC property from James Gunn.
Right, okay.
So it's setting up the bigger story. Now, I only watched the first episode. They're about 20 minutes long, so they're small. It's not bad so far. It feels very... It's not quite as captivating yet to me as the Harley Quinn show. But it's not bad. It's fun. It's very James Gunn. I believe he did write the entire series.
Yeah.
I'm not fully sold on it yet. I need to watch the 2nd episode. They do tie it into Peacemaker with stuff like that. So they are combining, even though that was under the old DC regime, he's tied it into that. So that is going to now carry over when Peacemaker season 2 comes out. But so far it's not bad. The music choices are a little weird, but it's James Gunn, so far he's not done me wrong with some of his newer properties. So I'm going to give this a chance. I'm going to watch the 2nd episode probably tonight and see where it's going to go. But yeah, it's the first official new DC property out now on Max. So that's what I've been watching.
I watched this movie Conclave
with Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes with John Lithgow, Stanley Tucci. It was about a pope dying, and this one cardinal has to organize the conclave, because that's the whole process, if you're not familiar, where all the cardinals have to come in from around the world, and they have to vote.
Fly in.
Yes, they have to. The what?
Because they're cardinals.
Gotcha. They all have to vote, and it has to be a majority vote to announce who the pope is.
Erik, cardinals are birds. That's why it's funny.
I get it, and I just kept moving. So, whenever a vote doesn't fully pan out, they throw it into a fire with the black smoke, and that goes out the top of the Vatican, and that's how the world knows they still haven't picked a new pope. And when they do, the white smoke goes out, and the world knows that there's a new leader of the Catholic Church. So this is all about the behind. Yeah, well, it's the only thing that they have that stays like back to whatever archaic age that the church started with.
The Spanish Inquisition. Yeah.
And so it was a whole about showing you like the politics behind the scenes of people trying to get votes, and they're all saying that they're not trying to be the pope, but they really are trying to be the pope. And then a new carnival, I almost said a carnival, a new cardinal shows up out of nowhere, and nobody knows who this guy is, except for one person who found out that this was, there's some special decree where the pope has people that go out that are in privacy, that the congregation doesn't know about because of safety concerns or something like that. And they find out that this cardinal was in Kabul, Afghanistan.
Right.
And that's why it was never revealed that this person existed, because of the dangerous area that the person was in. They set up a parish and stuff in there. And just, it's almost like wartime kind of secrecy. They didn't want to put this person's safety in jeopardy with the church and everything else. Movie's fine. It's good. It's interesting. I like learning about that kind of stuff. The ending was not to my liking. I'll leave it at that. Unless you decide to watch it, I don't want to give it out because I think the movie only came out like a few weeks ago or something, right?
Yeah, it went to the theater and like everything else disappeared out of the theater. It's on video on demand now.
Yeah, the ending is from a different movie. I'll just say they took an ending from another movie and just added it to this. And
Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah. No, actually, oddly enough, it was the ending to License to Drive. And you saw the girl.
Was it with Corey Feldman, Corey Haim?
Yeah, where the blonde girl's, her name was Mercedes, and she's passed out drunk in the Mercedes, and he's driving like this with the top down as he goes down around the, the mountainous roads. And that's how the movie ended. It made no sense.
Yeah,
but
I think it was actually just footage that they just spliced in.
If you are into that stuff, go and watch the movie and then write me and tell me what you thought of the ending. Because at some point, maybe next week, there'll be enough time. I'll talk about the ending of that movie.
Yeah.
And my thoughts on it. But the ending did not match or was necessary. I'll say for that movie.
Like, why was this in here?
Exactly. That was my biggest thing. I just was screaming at the TV and going, why? There's no need for this. And this is where it went. I watched that. I watched the tree lighting. I went and saw the balloons for the Macy's Day Parade.
I was going to say, wasn't that on kind of like it may not have happened because of the winds? Like, I'm surprised that actually...
No, it happens rain or shine. They have ways of doing all of that stuff, but got a chance to go see some of it and then get the hell out of the city before the parade was over, because we went up to the very, very beginning of the route before it gets to Macy's and on television. And as soon as I saw Santa coming down past Central Park, I'm like, oh, that's the end of the parade. We're leaving. Goodbye. And we're out and back home. By the time Santa had already come and the dog show was starting on NBC, I was like, got out of there super fast. That was pretty much it. Did I watch anything else?
Like, are you watching the tree? Like, is the tree lighting like now that you have a kid, you want to kind of have like a tradition, or is like, do you find that interesting? Like, I just
it's schlock. It's just schlock,
yeah.
But it's interesting because it's live. And I'll watch stuff like that live because you're hoping things fuck up.
Something goes bad.
Or somebody says the wrong thing or whatever. But now with the kid in play, Ola, roll with kid in play. She was watching it, dancing along, enjoying the music. So now it's on to keep her entertained while we're doing other things. I'm scrolling on my phone and looking for nonsense. And so now there's another layer to why I have stuff like that on the TV, because normally I will watch a live event, but I won't watch a lot of specials and stuff. If I've seen them, I've seen them. I move on from it. I don't think I watched anything else. Oh, I've been playing a game. Phasmophobia.
Oh, you started without me.
Well, I started playing with other people because I can't rely on you or Hollywood agent Rob Stark anymore.
Well, Rob has famously said that game's not for me because of his constitution. He can't be scared that late at night.
I know.
So
it goes right
I'm
through.
willing to play. You just got to...
I've asked you to play several times, and then I hear nothing from you, and then boop, on the bottom of my screen...
George's playing Hades too.
George's playing, Rocket League or Rock Band.
I do like Rocket League.
There's Hades too. So I had to find some other people to play with because I'm trying to learn. I'm nowhere near good at this game. Because if you don't know it, it's like you get hired. You're an agency that goes to these houses, and you have to decipher what's haunting the house. So there's a whole bunch of different things for evidence that you have to find or log in your book in order to determine what exact demon or spirit is in the house, and that determines the mission and how you end it and all that stuff. You make money, experience points, buy better equipment. it just goes on. And you're constantly hiding from this shit because your sanity goes down, the thing starts hunting you, and you hear it hunting you, and you're hiding in closets, you're running away before this thing kills you.
That sounds fun. I should play with you.
Yeah, you should sometime. So I've been playing that a lot. I think I'm up to a level 8, and there's people who are in the 400s. So I'm like, I got a way to go. But I've been playing that.
Wow.
So if anybody out there wants to play Phasmophobia, because Jordan's not going to play with me anymore, and rightfully so, he has to deal with me once a week, and even that's too much. I don't blame him. All right. Moving on to what's out right now in theaters.
Say it.
Night Bitch.
Night Bitch. It's about a woman who thinks she's turning into a dog. It's Amy Adams. It actually looks very interesting. Yeah. Like she starts acting like a dog. She's like barking at all the other stay-at-home moms.
Fucking like a dog.
Barking like a dog.
That I would be interested in watching.
No.
Everything else.
It looks interesting.
Not really. Over on Video on Demand, like I said, Conclave is available if you want to go watch that. Juror number 2, don't know what that is.
Clint Eastwood's last directorial movie.
Oh, I heard that wasn't too good.
They buried it. Like it never made. I don't think it even made it to the theaters, and if it did, it was very limited release.
All right, so I'll give it a chance and see. And then there's also Here, starring Tom Hanks. What is that?
Yeah, it's a Robert Zemeckis movie where it's like say you put a camera up in the corner of your living room and just filmed life happening. Like it's like, you know, from them as meeting as kids to growing up together, getting married, moving into the house. It's like a tale of someone's life from adolescence to adulthood. It looked boring. Like it looked really boring. But I like Tom Hanks. I like Robert Zemeckis. Like I'll give it a chance. I'll watch it now that it's on video.
They were advertising something with Tom Hanks during the tree lighting. Oh, he's doing you know how when you see those BBC Earth specials where they do it in like 8K cameras and they show you how beautiful the planet is and majestic the animals and the ocean life is. So they're doing something like that, but NBC is funding all this thing. It's called The Americas, and it's narrated by Tom Hanks, and it's just showing the terrain and the animals and stuff from North America through South America. They're calling it the supercontinent and all this other stuff, but the special is called The Americas, narrated by Tom Hanks. It comes out in February, so there's plenty of time to forget that it's even a thing until it shows up the following week and go, oh yeah, this is a thing.
Yeah, I'd rather watch India with Autumn Shank.
He's India's answer to Brian Dennehy, if you weren't aware. Over on Peacock, Smile 2. Nope. Over on HBO Max.
I've been seeing a lot of clips from it. It's very creepy.
I've been seeing clips online too. There was one where like the demon calls her boyfriend or something. She's like in a car and she's like, he doesn't love you. I'm like, this is so stupid.
You're like, I don't need this.
And then she smashes the car and kills her. So I'm like, all right, that was a way to end it. HBO Max has Creature Commandos, the new property from DC, the James Gunn run. Like Jordan said earlier, it also said on Disney Plus, Skeleton Crew is available. Paramount Plus, Dear Santa. Coming out next week, Lord of the Rings, The War of
the Rohirrim.
Rohirrim.
The anime Lord of the Rings.
No.
It looks awesome, and I can't wait. I'm going to go see it.
I'll wait for it on demand to watch that. Also next week, Kraven the Hunter. Marvel's Kraven the Hunter, but they like to bury Marvel in the title. They just say Kraven the Hunter. So that'll be there. We'll see how, hopefully it's less terrible than the other things have been, but you never know.
No, it looks bad.
And then that's what's for next week. All right. Let's go into news for this week. I almost said J.J. Abrams. Jim Abrams is dead at age 80.
Just J. Abrams.
Yes. He is the writer, director of Airplane, Police Squad. He was always tagged in with the Zucker brothers for a lot of their projects here. Legendary comedies. If you don't know Police Squad, that's what evolved into the Naked Gun series. That alone, I mean, Airplane and the Naked Gun, I would just retire. It's like you're some of the best comedies ever made. You're never going to top them.
One of my favorite movies that he did that led into him getting Airplane off the ground, no pun, was Kentucky Fried Movie. And that was fucking fantastic. I love that movie. And
wasn't that the inspiration for Saturday Night Live?
I don't know if it was.
I thought I heard that it was.
It may have been. But yeah, that one was fun. That one's like that's the one where it's like the guy couldn't like pleasure his wife, so he had to call in the Kansas City linebacker Big Jim Slade. Like the big black dude busts in, he's like taking his wife. There was another one where like the guy was like danger seekers. He puts on a helmet. It looks like a skinny little nerdy version of like a daredevil, walks into a group of black guys playing dice, he yells the N-word and starts running. I'm like, oh my fucking.
Was that also the movie where there's like a lady in the living room and the guy comes through the television and starts fucking her or something? Like he comes into her living room.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I think there was something like that. Like her husband left and he just turns, looks from the camera, and he comes through the television like, oh, she's
maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't remember. I haven't seen it in a while, but it's fantastic.
All right, moving on to more dead people. The former drummer of My Chemical Romance, Bob Breyer, was dead at 44. This is what's weird. It took like a month before anybody knew he was dead, right?
They didn't know he was dead, yeah. In fact, the only reason they discovered he was dead is that animal control was sent to his house to collect his animals.
Yeah.
And they were to remove the pair of dogs, and his decomposing body was discovered. They have no cause of death.
Eating him?
What was that?
Were the dogs eating him?
No. I think they were like probably left outside or probably maybe barking or things like that. So they have no cause of death officially. Nothing is suspected as far as foul play goes. All his possessions were still in the house, all his musical equipment, all his weapons. Nothing was taken. So
see, I didn't know this part here. Why was he not in the band anymore? I thought he was like, remember the original drummer for Blink-182 had like a drinking or drug problem or something? And
yeah, and that's when Travis came on. I don't know why he left the band. I mean, the band kind of stopped after a while. So maybe when it was time to bring the band back and do what they're doing now, they just didn't call him back.
Because he's dead, Jim.
I mean, he didn't answer his phone.
All right, moving on. Godspeed to him. New Simpsons Christmas special is set to debut on Disney Plus, commemorating the 35th anniversary of its premiere episode. Simpsons roasting on an open fire back in December 17th, 1989. I watched that as a kid live on TV.
That was the one where they get Santa's little helper, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's when I started learning how to videotape the episodes, so I would just tape them all so I could watch them whenever I wanted. So they're doing that to commemorate that special. The Simpsons is coming to Disney Plus with a brand new Christmas special titled "Oh Come All You Faithful" on December 17th. The new special is going to be a double-sized episode that will bring in some notable guest stars when it streams later this year.
Next week. The 17th. Sorry.
All right. Older article, maybe, that you put in there?
Parts of it. I pulled from a couple different things.
I would love... Look, because the Disney can afford it, and that show has made like billions of dollars, be it advertising, revenue, video games, all of that stuff. I would love if, because how poorly the first, and they always talk about how poorly the first season was animated because that's all the best they could do. And you see a big difference between the first season and the second season, because I think they also changed animation houses.
Mm-hmm.
If they went back and reanimated some of the first season,
that would be interesting.
Like if they did the Christmas episode, that first episode we all saw, if they went and just redid it, kept the same audio or whatever, or and just redid the whole thing.
That'd be it. That would be an interesting thing, because for a while they wouldn't even do the Babysitter Bandit episode for streaming, and now it's back.
Right.
I would love to see that.
They just said that one was just poorly written. They didn't like that one.
I like that one.
But and who was the bad? Penny Marshall was the bad.
Penny
right?
Marshall was the voice. Yeah.
Go back and reanimate that Christmas special, and then do the first season. People would love to see the first season.
Yeah.
Done nicely, and
because it wasn't quite as bad as the animation for like Tracy Ullman, but it definitely wasn't second season and beyond.
Yeah.
Like that first season was very just haphazardly stuck together just to get it out there.
And it's not like they have to storyboard it and figure out how the concepts for it. It's like you just redo it shot for shot.
I wonder if you could even like plug it into some kind of AI to clean it up. Just do it.
I think you would be better just redesigning the whole thing. Like essentially digitally tracing. Like here's the original scenes, the computer learns or how they're doing it, and they just make it into how clean they do it. I should talk to Mike.
You're a tracer.
I should talk to Mike and see if that's something they can do. Which, by the way... I
was going to say, wait on that for a little bit.
Yeah, our pal Mike, who has been on this show, a good friend of ours, animator for The Simpsons, his dad just died over the weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was unexpected, but the way he positioned it on his social media. It seemed like it was that way. I don't know. I didn't want to bother him or the family right now, but all the best to Mike and his family. And
I think a cousin or somebody did post one of the a GoFundMe. I'll put it out on my social, and that way, if anyone wants to donate or
send it to me, so I'll put it out there as well to help them out. That'd be great. Okay, moving on from that, HBO's Harry Potter TV series is getting a lot of buzz lately because it started off with that this was happening. 1, 2, J.K. Rowling is involved. She's not like hands-on, but she's still there as a consultant role and giving approval on things and changes they want to do. Now it's as the headline here is going a darker route with the casting of Severus Snape, as they're bringing in not Papa Shango. What does this say? Papa?
No. Papa Shango now.
Papa Asido?
Papa
Esidu to play Snape. How do we know him? What is he from?
He's a British actor. He's been on this one show. I think it's called I May Destroy You. I don't think it's very popular. Like I didn't recognize the guy at all.
Okay.
So I had to look up a few things from him. So I guess he's big on go probably find something on Acorn or what is it, BritBox might have something from him, but I don't personally know him. So.
Well, they're looking to bring him on. He's a black gentleman. People are used to Alan Rickman. And according to the books, a lot of the characters have very slight descriptions in the passages of what each character looks like. You only got a feel for the characters based on the artwork that were for the covers of the book. But outside of that, it was all, vague descriptions of what some of these characters look like. And the description for Snape in the books is not what this is.
No.
But
a lot less melanin.
People are... there are obviously people who are saying this is ridiculous, and there's a lot of people who are saying, like, I don't care, who cares with all this? And that was making me think, it's like, I don't really care, but it is such hypocrisy where if you change white roles into other casting, but if you do it the other way, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So... like if this was, and now people could say, "Oh, it's fiction; it doesn't matter." Well, that's just a cop out. That's bullshit. But if it's the other way around, people would have a problem. Like if you replaced a beloved property or a beloved character played by a black person, and you'd like, "Oh, now it's a Mexican, or now it's an Indian, or now it's a white person," whatever. They have a problem with that, and I just don't know why. That they insist on doing this all the time. I'm not saying this guy isn't a good actor. I don't really know his work, but they must think he's great. I mean, I tried to give the new Doctor Who a shot, and I think he's a terrible fucking actor, and I think he's terrible in that role. Has nothing to do with the fact that he's black or gay or any of that stuff. I just think he was a bad choice for the Doctor.
Well, the thing about the Doctor is the Doctor can be anybody they want.
Right.
That you can, when he regenerates, he's whoever it needs to be. There was no existing property actively describing what the Doctor should look like every time. So you can be somebody else. You can be a woman. You can be Matt Smith. You can be, Shooty McGavin. You could do these kinds of things, and that's okay. But you're not going to, redo and reboot Shaft, and Matthew McConaughey's playing Shaft. You're going to get a whole ration of shit.
I think I'd kind of want to see that.
I would want to watch that movie. But you know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. But, you take, Captain America, and instead of going the normal Captain America route where Bucky gets the shield and you go that arc, you immediately give it to the Falcon, who is less fun. Eventually he comes that way in the comics. But
since you mentioned that, we'll talk about that real quick. I don't have a problem with Anthony Mackie.
I don't think he's great as an
actor. He's not very personable. He's not very charismatic. I think he needs something. He can't just be straight human being playing Captain America.
Right.
Captain America needs that serum. Captain America needs to have some sort of invincibility to him to fit the role of the character. Now,
I
yes,
think
this is a different
he's getting
person.
a suit from Wakanda. I think that's what they're doing. So they're kind of everyone gets a suit, so they don't have to be drugged up in some kind of serum.
Go back to drugging up with the serum.
Whatever, it's a comic book movie. Like I can suspend disbelief, but however, you know what I mean. Like you're right though. You can't gender swap a certain way because people get mad. You can't race swap a certain way because people get mad. Like just
It just seems unnecessary.
I think it's a swing to try to generate buzz in a different way. Oh, we are hanging out with J.K. Rowling, who's clearly anti-trans. There's a whole issue with her. But if we cast a black actor, it looks like we're still being sensitive to people's needs and wants.
Or it's like, how do we draw more negative attention to what's going on here?
They're clearly not understanding their fan base.
Yeah, I know. If it was a project that nobody was really giving a fuck about, there was no buzz, and then you cast somebody like that, that's a way of bringing attention into it. Now it's like, okay, but did you see all the rest of the shit we were dealing with here? This is not helping by doing it this way. Who knows? We'll see how it all turns out. Maybe he'll be fantastic. WWE is moving to Netflix in the beginning of 2025. Raw, Monday Night Raw will broadcast live on Netflix no matter where the taping originates from. It's in the past, Raw's, what is this saying here? In the past, the Raw tapings originated outside North America, still aired at their usual so if they didn't air in the United States or Canada, or
it would be pre-taped.
It would be pre-taped if they were shot over in Australia and Asia or over in Europe or what have you. This will be live like they do the pay-per-views now. How they do the Olympics. This will be live no matter where it is, and then it'll be there. So it's like, all right, Monday Night Raw will air at 8 p.m. But if it's live somewhere else, they're going to turn it on and do it live, and then it'll be available on demand at 8 p.m. for you to watch. So it's just like you DVR'd it and didn't get a chance to watch it live. It's not really fucking with anything. So this is a big deal because this is going to be a new challenge for them because they did the Tom Brady roast live and that went well. They did the Tyson fight live. There was a couple of setbacks as far as who could get the streaming, the recycling, the refreshing rates, and what have you. And that was a one-off kind of thing. This is a weekly thing that they have to do all the time. So we'll see how this goes. I remember Triple H was asked, it's like, well, you saw what happened with the Tyson fight. You're going to be upset if there's constant problems with Raw broadcasting and it's buffering and people are having trouble. And he goes, if we hit 60 million homes, I don't care if it's buffering. It's totally fine.
I think that's also the issue, is that too many people were flooding the Tyson fight.
Right.
They do have 2 games there they're going to broadcast on Christmas through Netflix. One of them being, I think, the Chiefs, and then I think maybe the Raiders.
Are they overseas or are they here?
They're here.
Okay.
So they're still going to try the live football route through Netflix, which is, one of the 1,000 other ways you can watch football this year for some reason. But I think all these things are their way of testing their systems and putting it through the paces to do something like this with Raw and any other future properties. Because you're right, they did the live roast with Tom Brady. They did that weekly show with what's his face.
Oh, they did it was like 5 days in a row live from
5 days in a row.
John Mulaney.
Yeah, Mulaney's.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So I think they're dipping their toes into that live broadcasting arena, and I think all these things are learning experiences till they really start launching big properties like the WWE and so on. So we'll see. Maybe they learned a lot, and Triple H is right. If they have that many people watching to buffer it, that means they've got that many people.
They had to have. When WWE launched their streaming service, the WWE Network, like a decade ago, they hired the people who built the Major League Baseball live streaming. Now, up until that point, MLB's live streaming service was considered the best out of everything. Like, it was flawless. So they hired the same people who built MLB's streaming service to build WWE Network. And it was great. They had live events, specialties events, vast archives you could dig through, like old stuff. Then I guess NBC Universal threw a ton of money at them, and they dissolved the network for the United States. It airs the rest of the world, but in the United States and Canada, it's on Peacock, right? And it's very limited archives. It's the live events. You get everything, it's fine, but very limited archives. Not the real value that you got from having the WWE Network. And now the WWE Network closes at the end of this month because everything worldwide will be Netflix now. So I'm hoping Netflix has a section that will handle Raw Live. I think some of their pay-per-views are going to be, or not pay-per-views, what are they now? Public live events, PLEs is what they call them, are going to still be on some with Peacock because they have that deal to finish out. And then I think other ones are going to Netflix for their live events. They should be able to get the information of how to do this better based on the track record WWE had of people who were live streaming their stuff already. So I really don't think Netflix has any kind of excuse if the thing shits the bed the first week or two. You could say growing pains, like, yeah, but look at everybody else WWE dealt with and didn't have these problems. Why didn't you talk to those people and figure it out on your own? I don't know. We'll see. But the other thing with WWE is that they announced that their ratings are not going to change. It's still going to be a family-friendly rating.
Right.
Now, a lot of people thought that this was going to go in some capacity to an R rating or, do more risque stuff, even, like a hardcore rating because like old ECW style fighting and what have you, the barbed wire.
Saw that when The Rock was doing his stuff where, the language was not so cleaned up.
But they didn't do it on their streaming. They were allowing it on social media.
Right. But do you think that was their way of saying, okay, look, if we're getting away with it here and people are receptive to it, that maybe we would bring it to Netflix being a paid service?
Possible. Or they figured out it's like if we keep doing this on our social media platforms and not the streaming platforms, then that's a way we can do both without, changing our rating. And pretty much like they said, Triple H said it was just going to be, it's staying this way because it's family friendly, it's inclusive, it's warming and welcoming to everybody to come in and watch these things. It's advertiser friendly, and it's great for their merchandising numbers. So they're not going to change this stuff to ruin. WWE has never made more money than they have currently.
Right.
In the last couple of years, they've made more money in the history of the company than they've had ever. So why are they going to fuck with that? I understand it. I would like to see more adult and hardcore wrestling stuff. Steel cages, barbed wire, all that shit.
Attitude Era and all that.
Bring
stuff,
that back once in a while. If you have it all the time, it's boring and terrible. But if you can allow specialty one-offs, I would love that. We'll see what happens down the line. But for now, the rating's going to stay the same, and it'll be more of what they're currently doing. There's a reboot for Scrubs in the works. Why? I don't know, but Bill Lawrence, the creator of Scrubs, is currently developing a reboot of his beloved sitcom Scrubs at ABC. Was Scrubs an NBC or an ABC show when it was on?
ABC.
Okay. Variety has learned that Lawrence is on the works of a new iteration of the series via 20th Century Television, which is Fox, for the broadcast network. The original series was produced by ABC Studios, which was recently absorbed into the 20th Century Television parts of the restructuring under Disney. Who cares about all that stuff? So anyway, they're rebooting Scrubs.
And they're trying to get the old cast back, too.
I mean, those two are doing Verizon commercials or something.
T-Mobile commercials and
with
singing.
Jason,
And they have a podcast.
With Jason Momoa. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So, all right, look for Scrubs. Moana 2, as we said last week, was number one at the box office, breaking all kinds of records. It surpassed expectations and finished with $389 million as the top animated movie of Thanksgiving weekend. And worldwide.
All time.
Of all time? Oh, wow.
All time. It beat out...
Beating out Inside Out 2's own record-setting bow this past summer by almost $100 million.
Yeah.
The box office and besting estimates with a projected $375 million as of Saturday. So it's doing well.
Yeah.
One of the only rock
it was a good
movies
weekend.
That are doing well.
It was a good holiday weekend.
Because that Red Santa thing, everyone's saying is just not good. I think I'm going to sit down and watch it. I want to watch it for myself.
I'll watch it.
Mattel, the infamous toy company, owners of Barbie and Hot Wheels. I think they own Masters of the Universe too, right? Mattel?
I believe so.
Right?
Yeah.
Is sued over Wicked dolls from the movie that includes a link to a porn site. So I heard this and I went and looked. I go, that can't be true. And you go to the store, you see the Wicked dolls, and lo and behold, there it was. Where I can't find my photo thing. Here it is. Okay, so here's the doll on the shelf right there. What's her name? Glinda, I think, right? It's supposed to be the good witch, and then the other one's the Wicked witch. So here are the toys. Mattel makes them. Makes sense. Looks like it's part of the merchandise line. You look in the back there. Universal City Studios Incorporated owns the LLC owns the copyright to it. For more on this thing, go to wicked.com. Wicked.com is a legendary porn company for the last 20, 30 years.
With such popular girls as Stormy Daniels and Liz Jordan.
And I think Wicked became really famous because they were the ones that had Jenna Jameson.
I believe so.
And Jenna Jameson at one point was like the biggest porn star, making a ton of money because she had her own. She was on the she was on O&A. I'm trying to remember what it was. Club Jenna, I think it was called.
Yeah.
And she had her own like offshoot company. Like Wicked would distribute it, but she made everything and was just tons of money, and then sold it for like 7-8 figures or something like that to Wicked. And they own her archive and all that, and she left the adult business. Anyway, the company makes a lot of money. And now you just showed kids where to go to watch pornography while watching this adaptation offshoot of The Wizard of Oz. So they're being sued for this. According to court documents, a South Carolina resident is launching a class action suit after purchasing the toy for her young daughter, who visited the X-rated website that had nothing to do with the Wicked doll. The toy company mistakenly listed a similar titled website for adult entertainment site Wicked Pictures rather than the official page for the Universal Pictures film starring those two. The plaintiff alleges that the Mattel didn't offer a refund and believes that she and her child suffered emotional distress from the misprint. Now, that I think is bullshit. Now, you could say
100%.
You could say, no, I'm furious and you're going to do something about it because my kids saw porn before they should have ever seen this thing, and I'm holding you accountable. That, I think, would have held up a lot better.
Here's one of my biggest problems. What kid do you know gets a new toy and immediately says, I want to check out the website printed in small print on the back of this doll? Not one fucking child I think
the parent went, oh, let me go. Oh,
the parent saw all the news talking about how it was a misprint and decided to capitalize on it.
Oh, you think that's what it was?
That's 100% what it is. There's no chance that any child actually went to this website.
I love when they say emotional distress. You know, when you have emotional distress, when you were through a car accident, where you were in some kind of war zone style, situation, cancer, those kind of things. That's emotional distress. Going to a porn site because it was mislabeled on the back of a toy is not emotional distress. It's not needing
this
therapy.
Child didn't see that, and then you know what else happened? If you knew that was the website,
no.
You could have gotten a refund at any Target, any Walmart, any Costco, wherever you kept your goddamn.
Yeah, why didn't you go back to the toy store?
Because they're stupid and they're suing Mattel because they know they have deep pockets. There's no way this kid is that emotionally distressed.
Yeah, the kid. I don't know the age of the kid.
And most of that stuff was behind a paywall anyway. Erik checked.
You're the one that has the subscription. I had to bum your password from it. Finally, we're going to wrap all this up here with, we're at that time of the year where the streaming services come out and tell you the stats of what you watched and what you listened to throughout the year. Spotify's Wrapped is out. Is Apple Music's thing out yet?
Yeah, that's the one I showed you because I only have Apple Music.
Okay. So mine came out, and I knew it was going to be kind of fucked up because for the last year, my kid's really been into music and very demanding when you get in the car that they want to listen to their playlist or their specific songs or whatever comes off the top of their head.
So much Little Peep on there.
I will say this. The kid has been getting into 80s music.
That's good.
The kid loves 99 Red Balloons, but likes the color
German?
purple. So she calls them, I want to hear the Purple Balloon song.
Nice.
So she sings purple instead of red. This. And I put the song on. I'm like, the song's about impending nuclear war, and the kid is just having a grand time singing along the song. I'm like, one day I should throw the German version on and really fuck with her head when that thing comes blasting through the speakers. The other song, I think was just on shuffle, and the next song came on, and for some reason she likes that song too, so I have to play that song as well. B-52's Rock Lobster.
Rock Lobster's fantastic.
It's a great song, but she loves screaming. She doesn't know the rest of the stuff, but she just screams Rock Lobster, like she yells it really loud. So I'm starting to experience what you have told me stories about having your kid in the car, and what. So this is happening. But then I get yelled at.
You'll get messed up.
I'll get yelled at because they want Doc McStuffin songs. They want Gabby's. Now Gabby has a Christmas album out right now. Gabby's Dollhouse. So that has to play. The Moana soundtrack, Frozen soundtrack, Encanto soundtrack, all those.
Here's my problem right now. So my kid is 8.
And
so I pick him up from school. I lost the receipt, can't return him. So, my problem is that when I put on my music, I'm listening to like Coheed and Cambria. I'm throwing on Fall Out Boy. I'm doing all these other songs, and he's mad because I'm not playing Eminem. Like it's such a weird thing. He gets very mad. I look in the rear view and he's just like sitting there sulking because he doesn't want to listen to what I want to listen to. But if I put on Houdini, he's just back there having a great old time. He knows the lyrics to Lose Yourself. Like I'm sitting there
Is he
going,
doing the head bombing? Has he not seen the video yet?
Yeah, he's great. No, it's hilarious that I've gone past the, I want to listen to the Disney songs and all this stuff, and he just wants to listen to Eminem music, which, I can't be mad at, but it's like sometimes I wish he would just expand his horizons.
Well, that's your fault, isn't it? You're the parent that has influenced them in that way.
It's true. I have corrupted most of them.
At least I'm getting my kid into some modern stuff out of Disney and into the 80s.
Modern stuff. You just said 99 Luftballons.
I know what I said.
By Nina.
So anyway,
from the 80s.
The recap comes out, tells you, your top artists, your top songs, podcasts that you're listening to. There was no podcast information because other than Rogan stuff that, I'll watch there or now is showing up on YouTube. I'm still using the Overwatch app. Is it Overwatch? Overcast. Overwatch is a video game. Overcast app for podcast stuff. So I have no podcast info for Spotify. But I have a couple of things that are an issue, and my list is tainted at best. And we're trying to do our new specials that we do at the end of the year, which we call E-Rock Radio, where Jordan and I play music DJs and we play our top 10 list for the year based off our streaming services. If you haven't heard the last year's one, it's available through the podcast apps and on YouTube. I think you can find it as well. Just look up E-Rock Radio on the channels and you'll find it. The list comes out and tells me my top rundown. So here's what I have. My top artists are Stephanie Beatrice, who was from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Right.
But she's the lead in Encanto. Mirabelle, I think is the name of the character.
Yeah.
So she's my top artist because Encanto is constantly playing on my phone because of the kid. Number 2, Rancid. Number 3, Eminem. Number 4, Blink-182. Number 5, Idina Menzel. Now, if you're not familiar with her, we just talked about Wicked. She was the Wicked Witch for the longest time in the Broadway. Yeah. That's where I think she really became of note. And then also she's Elsa in Frozen.
Right.
So, of course, another fucking
which
juggernaut.
You can see by your top songs. Let It Go. It makes sense.
So my top songs. I'm going to go backwards now. 5 to 1. Number 5, Family Madrigal, Encanto. Number 4, Let It Go, Frozen. Number 3, Houdini. Me and Jordan's kid are sitting there just streaming the same song over and over. Number 2, this one, I think I explained it on the 10th anniversary special, but Last One to Die is because we were going to use it for the 10th anniversary special. And it was one of those times like I had the previous year where I fell asleep with that on repeat. And it played for
That's right. That's why your songs were all messed up last year, too.
Right. Because last year was the Jaws theme. That Jaws song.
Jaws is here.
Hold on, I have it here somewhere.
Jaws is here. Here is Jaws.
This was last year's. This was in one of the top hits. I had to take it out because I was like, there's no way I can play this.
That got stuck in my head for so long after we played that.
It's fantastic.
He was in a movie that everyone saw.
Yeah. So, last one to die. Number 1. I don't know this song at all. It's called Passoa.
Oh, it's your number 1 song.
Passoa. Passoa. Now, it's my top played song of 2024. One of the graphics I don't have here on here, I gotta find it. It says your biggest listening day was February 22nd with 401 minutes.
Oh, you're really into this song.
My Spotify account got hacked.
That's what they all say.
No, but it was hacked by somebody in Brazil. And I wasn't aware because I didn't see the alerts. And then I went to log in on the computer and I was like, all of a sudden this isn't working. What the hell? And I check my emails and I see my password had changed. I'm like, what the fuck? I go through the steps and I see where it's registered to and it's somebody in Brazil. I go through the steps with Spotify, switch everything out, secure it, and back. Thought nothing of it. And whatever songs they had in the playlist there, you can see the recent played. I was just deleting. I was like, whatever, I'm not listening to this.
I mean, you did go through a phase where you really liked Fast and Furious 5 where they were in Brazil, so I don't know.
No, I kept playing the song where they made the makeshift spaceship, and they were it was him and I forgot who they were. It was Ludacris and somebody else. They were flying through space with duct tape and a fishbowl
stupid.
In a car. Anyway, so the artist, his name is Jaco
and Capo.
The song is Passoa.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. I'm not going to play it here because I don't want to get flagged for that nonsense. But
it's in Spanish.
My whole thing is screwed. So, from what I'm told by Hollywood agent Rob Stark, is there's a way I can go in there and change permissions to have certain songs not affect my algorithm.
I wonder. I don't know. Do you think?
I don't know how. Let me see if I can find his exact wording for it. What were you going to say?
I don't know. Will that carry forward, or is it
going to affect immediately?
Is it going to affect the newest, your current rap? Like, I don't know if this is going to salvage your list at this point. It might help forward, but that's it.
He said here, to hide songs from Spotify's algorithm and prevent them from appearing in recommendations, use the exclude from your taste profile feature. Navigate through the song or playlist you want to exclude, click the 3 dots, and select exclude from your taste profile. This will signal to Spotify to not consider that music when generating your personalized recommendations. All right, so I'm going to have to figure out how to do that. I don't know if it's going to recorrect my Wrapped, but
yeah, I don't know if it will.
I got to figure out a way to do the special here because this is only giving me my top 5. It's not even giving me my top 10.
Well, and here was my thought. Is that we take our top, like if you can take a top 5 or even top 10 or whatever.
Did we do 5
artists,
last year? Or did we do 10?
We may have did 10. Maybe we did 5. I think we only did 5. I'm just saying pick your top artists and then find a song from those artists. And that way we're not repeating things. Because like on my list, there's a couple Fall Out Boy songs. No one wants to hear Fall Out Boy 3 and 4 times. You know, when we're doing this kind of thing. Because last year I did that where I had like 2 Blink-182 songs. Because most of my listening habits tend to gear toward what I am going to go see in concert or whatever. So this year I was going to go to When We Were Young. That's, you know, Fall Out Boy is going to be heavy rotation. Last year was Blink-182 and so on. So maybe you find your list of artists and grab a song from that. And that way we can mix it up a little bit.
Possible. But you're also being too practical with it.
Or we can just fucking listen to your Brazilian song. I don't know.
I could do it 5 times in a row and that'll be my thing here.
That'll be your whole thing.
Okay.
And do it in Spanish. We'll get Gabby to translate.
Eres tú. I'll just play Eres tú over and over.
Eres tú would be great.
Eres tú. No, so we did the top 5. We didn't do top 10. So, okay, we can do top 5. What I could do, let me see. I'm pulling up the episode here. Lists. I'm on Spotify. Jordan's on Apple. And I'm sure iHeart, whatever that one was, off their 2003 self-titled CD. I think this song is pretty... Number 4 on my Spotify rap list for 2023, that was Current Me with the Spin Doctors there.
Right.
Okay, so
you did have a pretty eclectic mix there.
I think I might find a way where I'll put out a playlist. Oh, my playlist is up there right now. Go to
Your summer mix.
Well, no, that was just how we promoted it. There's Eric's version and Jordan's version. Right. Look up It's Erik Nagel on Spotify or on Apple Music, and you can find both our playlists there. Mm-hmm. I think I got to give you my updated list to update on your end as well.
Okay.
Find Eric's version, and I'm going to let you guys vote. Pick 5 songs out of there, and that'll be my top 5 for the year.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Jordan's fading fast, so I can. We're going to flip over to him. Oh, my God, we're at 3 hours. We got to stop doing shows this long. All right, let's go and do the plugs. Jordan, our nation's eyes are turning to you before you fall asleep.
I'm not falling asleep. You guys can catch me on Twitch at JinxRonan79, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, whatever, at JinxedRonan. If you guys subscribe to Amazon Prime, everyone does. They're piping it into everyone's houses at this point. Go use your free subscription. Go to Twitch and subscribe to the show. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. Do all that fun stuff, and if you find yourself feeling happy for the holidays and want to donate, go ahead and throw some bits at us on Twitch. Go do the donations through Instagram. Well, not Instagram, but YouTube. I don't think they do anything through X or anything of that stuff. So, but like and subscribe. Say some nice things. I don't know. Say some bad things, and then go check out our
say
pizza
something,
reviews.
Damn it.
Just do something. Interact. I like the interaction. It's fun.
Okay. For me and the show, it's Erik Nagel across the board on all the social media platforms. If you're listening to iHeartRadio app, thank you very much for doing so. Apple, Spotify, any of those other places you get your on-demand content, do us a kindness, go over there, leave us a positive review like Jordan said. It does help out the program. Join us live each and every week as we do the program in our live rooms on YouTube and on Twitch. Like, follow, subscribe over there. It's free for the time being. And this will let you know when we're going to go live, so you can like, oh shit, they're going live. We can go in there and join that. Or if you can't join us live and you want to watch the video at your convenience, it's always available on our YouTube channel. It's Erik Nagel. So that is it. We are out of here. Switching the buttons around. Yes, there we go. So until the next time, everybody,
be excellent to each other,
and we'll be seeing you.
It's Erik Nagel.
I didn't know you had elves working here.
Boy, you're hilarious, my friend.
Does Santa know that you left the workshop?
You know, we're all laughing our heads off.
Did you have to borrow a reindeer to get down here?
Hey, Jackweed, I get more action in a week than you've had your entire life. You feeling strong, my friend? Call me elf one more time.
He's an angry elf.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Erik Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itseriknagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends, so they can tell 2 friends, and they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.